Garden, Johnson County's fall nursery headquarters.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Sunny skies, beautiful weather as we head into the afternoon. Today's high 76. Mostly clear, quiet, and cool overnight. A low down to 51. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
And I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Hey, do you remember our tease that we did Friday before we left for the weekend?
I do, because I felt like it was somewhat of a throwaway. But actually now it seems somewhat prophetic, doesn't it?
So you hear these liners that run throughout the day where we preview kind of what's coming up for tomorrow's show. And the Friday ones are always tough because we know it'll be 2 whole days before we all get together and visit again. So we always struggle to what's going to be the top story. And so I told Casey, I said, well, I'll just say something like, the politicians will probably do something stupid. We'll tell you about it. And boy, howdy, Casey.
Yeah, they delivered, didn't they?
Because today we have not one, not two, but 3 people who either definitely or allegedly did something stupid, right? It was a real tough one to figure out who the dumbass of the day was going to be, because I so wanted it to be the lieutenant governor, but while his stuff is ridiculous, it's not particularly harmful, I don't think, to the public at large, because he gave away all his power and he mostly just goes to the candy stores and the Pizza Kings now. So we'll talk about him in a little bit, because there's some real life lessons from that saga. I think we have to start with the governor, though, because this involves putting somebody in an enhanced position of power, and I got big problems with this.
Yeah, he's got a cabinet member who just abruptly announced their departure.
So Jennifer Ruth Green. So government is the ultimate fail-up place, where you see people who are professional losers, and then they just get promoted when they're good little girls and boys into these cushy government positions. And you think about names that come to mind. You've got this Jennifer Ruth Green, who we'll talk about, lost an election, rejected by the voters, had an opportunity to be elevated, rejected. What's she get? She gets a cushy government position. The Susie Jaworski lady, rejected by the voters. What's the punishment? Cushy government position. Fred Glenn, the guy running Okra, rejected multiple times by the voters. What's he get? I like Fred. He's a nice enough guy, but sorry, you've been rejected by the voters. What do you get? Cushy government position. And Jennifer Ruth Green ran for Congress in the 1st Congressional District, which is the one that they're looking at rigging in favor of the Republicans, so that because they can't win it on the up and up, so they'll rig the map further in their favor this next time. Yeah. She lost that race.
She narrowly lost. This was back in 22. It was 47-53.
Okay, but it wasn't like she lost by 3 votes. I mean, that's 6 points. And the Republicans put $1 gajillion into that seat, and she couldn't get it done. Okay, fine. You had your shot.
She raised $3.5 million.
It wasn't like, I mean, they put a ton of money in there, all sorts of resources, and then she couldn't get it done. And for her failure, she was given a $275,000 job by the Braun administration. Public safety? Wasn't that her?
Secretary of Public Safety.
Yes. So, sorry, you couldn't win. The voters said no thanks, but the Braun administration said, come on in. Here's $275K plus bennies.
Yeah, but after serving roughly 8 months.
Yes.
She has resigned, and she did put out a statement. She said, many thanks to Governor Braun for the honor of serving as Indiana's inaugural Secretary of Public Safety. I'm honored to have worked alongside so many great leaders around the state. Secretary Scott will do an amazing job in this position. I look forward to watching his successes. She's off to military duty. Always a privilege to wear the uniform, and I'm excited for the future.
But at no point did she say, I must quit because of my military duty. She clearly, when she took the job, knew she had military duty. There's no... Right. I mean, she didn't say, I'm quitting because I have this military obligation. Right?
Nope.
Braun didn't say that. Because, like, when Jim Banks, as much as we dislike Banks, he did serve his country and deserves respect for that, as does this woman. But the Banks, when he was a senator, I think he was a state senator, he got called up to military duty, and he resigned his office to go have his military obligation, and his wife was caucused into his seat, which was fine, right? But they made a big deal out of that. Like, he has to go. He's leaving because he has to go. There was nothing in this Braun statement that said, because of her patriotic service, this will, prohibit her from doing this job, and it breaks my heart, and blah, blah, blah. Like, none of that was said, right? There's nothing in any of these statements from anyone, her or anybody else, that says I quit because of a military obligation that will prohibit me from doing this job anymore.
No, she does not say that directly. She does say that she is off to military duty.
Right. But there's a difference between I got a couple weeks of service coming up here, a mandatory service, versus, hey, I got to go, fight in a foreign land. And if they didn't clarify that, if that's the reason she left, well, shame on them, and everybody in the PR departments for both Braun and her should be fired.
Yeah, you think that would be a bragging opportunity? You could flex on that.
I'll be back in a year. I look forward to serving the Braun administration again as soon as I can get back, blah, 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 blah.
No.
They didn't do any of that.
No.
Okay, so let's then operate if indeed, again, everyone should be fired if that's the reason she left, and nobody said that. So I don't think it probably was, because I don't think they could all be that incompetent. Surely somebody in the government would have been like, oh, this would be a good talking point and make you both look really good. Who gives up a $275,000 cush government job voluntarily?
Well, it is adding fuel to the rumors that she may run for Congress again in the district that she ran for last time.
Who would give up a cush $275,000 job? And by the way, if she's got some years-long military obligation, how's she going to run for Congress if she's out serving her country?
Good point.
So again, we kind of are pushing past that. Like, if for the next year I'll be in Kuwait, how are you going to be running for Congress? Thank you. All right. See, this is why we work through things out loud on this program here, Case. Who gives up a cush $275,000 job to run in a swing district that you lost the last time, and unless it changes, doesn't appear to be any more Republican, and you're not even guaranteed you're going to get through the primary?
Well, it does make you wonder if they're going to call that special legislative session to redraw
Boy,
the
it
maps.
sure does, doesn't it, Casey? Okay, but let's talk about, because the real story is not her. The real story is who got put in her place. And that is Anthony Scott, the state police superintendent. Now, for those of you who are longtime listeners of this program, Anthony Scott is the police superintendent who took over at the beginning of the year when Mike Braun's close political ally, Tom Kleinhelter, the sheriff of Du Bois County, was facing an 80-page probable cause affidavit, which was put in front of by the state police. Former state police superintendent Doug Carter, Jeff Heron, this decorated longtime law enforcement officer for the state police, had put an 80-page probable cause affidavit in front of a special prosecutor, I believe it was from Orange County, related to Kleinhelter, close political ally of Mike Braun's, alleged misuse of commissary money, in particular buying flights for his wife to go on these trips with him. And all of a sudden, Anthony Scott becomes state police superintendent. And not only does the Kleinhelter investigation, poof, just go away, but Jeff Heron, the decorated law enforcement officer, 30-plus years for state police, Jamie Knoll investigation, Deshaun Reed investigation, all these high-profile investigations, he ends up getting punished for the way he allegedly handled the investigation. And Anthony Scott is leading the state police while all this is going on. And what do you know, Case? There's this magical, mysterious resignation by the public safety director. And who was the most qualified person to put in that spot?
The superintendent of the Indiana State Police.
Boy, that's a hell of a coincidence, isn't it?
Double duty. So now he's got dual roles. He's going to be remaining as the superintendent of ISP, and he will also be the new Secretary of Public Safety. Before you know it, he's going to be in charge of traffic cones.
Give
him one more thing.
Let me repeat this out loud.
He's like our very own Marco Rubio.
Well, you know.
All these job titles.
You know, sometimes I miss a step, so I want to just repeat this back to you, make sure I didn't miss a step. So, Braun's close political ally, Tom Kleinhelter, is facing an 80-page probable cause affidavit for misuse of commissary money in Du Bois County. The special prosecutor takes the case. We've had Doug Carter, who's state police superintendent, on. He said no red flags from that special prosecutor, nothing. All of a sudden, a new year, new governor, which happens to be Governor Braun, close political ally with Tom Kleinhelter, becomes the governor, appoints Anthony Scott as the state police superintendent. All of a sudden, not only does the Kleinhelter investigation just go away with no charges filed, despite an 80-page probable cause affidavit, but then the guy who did the investigation, a decorated 30-plus-year veteran of law enforcement, gets not only reprimanded, gets punished by with his job with state police. And then Anthony Scott gets a $275,000 job, assuming he'll make the same as Jennifer Ruth Green did, gets a $275,000 job.
On top of
and a promotion.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No, I think
Is
you
anything
got
I stated there incorrect? Did it appear to your ears have missed any of the facts of the case that is
No,
in front
that
of us?
sounds right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why everyone hates the government.
It is Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve, plus complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers.
Central Indiana knows tough, but your water shouldn't be. Indiana ranks among the hardest water in the country, and your home is paying the price. Connecticut's non-electric timer means no timer, settings, or headaches. Just water that works, even when the power doesn't. And the twin tank design means clean, soft water 24/7. Connecticut water softeners are the solution. Made in the U.S. Visit ConnecticutIndy.com and mention Made in the U.S. for an additional $250 off your purchase of a softener. Connecticut, American-made, Midwest tough.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Did you know that summer is the #1 season for well issues? It's because summer works your well system harder than any other time of the year, especially if you have an older pump and underperforming pressure tank. Things just wear out more quickly in the summertime. Tanks, pressure switches, and especially pumps. C&J is offering a $100 service call right now so you can catch problems early before you find yourself with no water at the hottest time of the year. Keep your summer parties, plants, and water going strong. C&J, just great people. 317-852-WELL.
Did you know up to 50% of outdoor water use is wasted? And did you know that there are things you can do to help change that? Indiana American Water suggests that you water early or late in the day to reduce evaporation. Also, be sure to fix any leaks and skip watering when rain is in the forecast. Consider rain barrels, mulch your garden, and use drip irrigation for your plants. Be water wise. Conserve today, sustain tomorrow. Find more conservation tips at Indiana American Water's Wise Water Use Resources at indianaamwater.com.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Well, who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 Accord SE for $329 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake. Visit our showroom off State Road 37 today. Tax and title fees not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends September 30th. See dealer for details.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Fall is in full swing at Sundown Gardens. Locally grown mums and pumpkins plus fall annuals and decor. 186th Street, Spring Mill Road in Westfield. It's sundown.gardens.com.
Remember when we were like, hey, we did that tease about the politicians doing something stupid over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What if they don't?
Well, they wouldn't let us down like that, would they?
Well, yeah. So, look, Kevin, calm down. We will get to Micah Beckwith throwing up all over himself later on in the program. You need to call. I'm so sick of hearing about it. We will get to it later on in the program.
Mm-hmm.
There's many other topics.
Yeah.
I mean, we have 3 real contenders for dumbass of the day, and maybe we'll get to one of them each hour. Maybe we'll just spread it out for the public at large.
Sure.
Anyway, all right. So, did you see? This is all over the internet. I'm sure you did because you're such a social media maven.
Mm-hmm.
This. What are they calling her? The Philly Karen?
Yeah, the Philly Karen. Mm-hmm.
So the Marlins were playing the Philadelphia Phillies, the Miami Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this was in Miami. And a guy for the Phillies hits a home run.
Yeah.
Harrison Bader?
Harrison Bader.
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Mm-hmm.
He hits a home run.
Mm-hmm.
As usual, look, nobody goes to the Marlins game, so there's usually wide swaths of open seating, especially like in the outfield stands. So guy hits a home run, goes into the stands. There's, as usual, like a scramble for the ball. Guy comes up with the ball, group of people, they're all going for the ball. Guy comes up with the ball, takes it, goes and gives it to his kid. He's at the ball game with, I think, his son.
Yeah, his son Lincoln. It was his birthday.
Okay, so dad, American pastime, American rite of passage, right? Mm-hmm. Fathers taking their sons to the ball game. So gets a home run, gets it, goes, gives it to his kid. The kid's elated, right? Having this, great euphoric moment. And this woman in a Philadelphia Phillies jersey who looks straight out of Central Casting, right? I mean, the Philly Karen name is perfect. Like, she looks straight out of Karen Central Casting, goes up to this father and starts berating him about the baseball.
Yeah, she said that was her ball and that she had caught it. She must have bobbled it because it was loose.
Yeah. And the rules, and your husband will back me up on this, until the ball is firmly in your possession.
Have and hold.
Yeah. Like touching the ball, not yours.
Yeah.
Even holding the ball for a brief second, if it's a crowd of people, not yours. Once you have, it's just like a catch in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have both feet down, inbounds, and firm possession of the ball, right? So at no point from the video that I've seen did it appear that she had any of this, right? Mm-hmm. She also can clearly see, look, you're a grown-ass woman. They've revealed who this woman is, by the way, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they've named her, and I don't know, what is she? She's got to be in her 40s or 50s or whatever. You're a grown adult. You see this little kid. He's got the kid is at the game. The kid's excited. It's not like it was, a historic home run ball. It's not like it was Mark McGwire's 70th home run or Aaron Judge's 62nd or Hank Aaron's all-time record 714. It's none of that. It's just some guy hit a home run at the Marlins Phillies game, and some little kid is thrilled to death that he has the baseball, and she starts berating this dad to the point where he finally just hands her the ball.
He said he pretty much just wanted her to go away. And he was just trying to de-escalate the situation. And that was probably the right move in front of his kid.
No, the right move would have been, get out of my grill, lady, or I'm calling security. That's my ball. It's now my kid's ball. Bugger off. Now, I get, like,
She was not having it, though.
Well, in the moment, you're panicking, whatever. But I hate that she ever got the ball to begin with. Thankfully, it was all caught on film, and public shaming commenced, and, of course, the internet. It didn't take long to track down who she was, and now her name's out there for everyone to see.
Yeah, it's just an embarrassing moment. And when something like that happens, like, you just want to disappear, right? Just go run and hide forever. But the stadium staff, they later gave Lincoln, who was the boy, a gift bag, and he got a signed bat.
Yeah, you got to meet the guy.
So at the end of the day, he made out.
Well, sure, but what does it say about our society that this is the way we respond to, I mean, not to say that it's meaningless. I mean, great, the guy hit a home run. Maybe it altered the course of the game. I don't know. I wasn't watching the game, nor was I keeping track. But in the grand scheme of things, that guy's not making the Hall of Fame. It's not a historic piece of baseball memorabilia.
What is she going to do with that ball?
Well, right.
Yeah.
Like, your life is so void of meaning that berating and it's one thing to say, hey, I went for the ball, I didn't get it, oh, I'm so disappointed, or this guy was just a little faster, oh, that stinks. But you see this all the time where, wasn't there something at a tennis event or something where the guy was signing autographs and some dude lurched in front of the little kid while he was trying to hand the hat or whatever it was to the, and it was some well-known person that did this, or known person. And it's just like, what are we doing where adults are behaving in this fashion over souvenirs?
Right? It's all about lack of self-control, isn't it? Can't you just be disappointed, handle your emotions, and then go on about your day? Instead, she had to make it a thing.
Yeah. Oh, somebody is saying that the woman who was identified wasn't her, which is why we don't give any names on this show, because we don't even care what her actual name is. But, like, it's just ridiculous. You're now going to go through life, if you're that woman, whether she's been identified or not, you're going to go through life knowing that's, because people know it was you. People know who you are. People in your orbit know that's you, whether that name has been put out there publicly or not.
Was that ball going to change her life in any way?
And forever, that's what people will know you as.
She's a meme now.
Yes, you're the person, you're the adult who was berating some dad who got a ball for his kid. Like, you see this with foul balls all the time, where these adults, try to get the ball, and it's like, baseball's a kid's game.
Well, it's like,
let the little kid have the thing. Who cares?
Well, it's like the adult who reached in at the Bartman game with the Cubs. Ruined the game.
Well, no, Casey, I'm sorry. Steve Bartman trying to catch a ball that was coming right at him is much different than some. No, I love that you tried to do a sports analogy, but I'm sorry. That is like Steve Bartman was catching a foul ball that came right towards him. Now, you can say, did he reach near the field of play? Sort of. But Moises Alou was jumping into the stands to catch that. I'm sorry, as a lifelong Cubs fan, I cannot allow this to go.
You're not going to let it go.
I'm sorry, I can't. I love you.
That was a much bigger game.
Well, yes, but yes, right, but it was still a foul ball. But the point is, anyway. All right, hey, coming up next, Carrie Hamilton is going to join us. She is a Democrat state representative. She has been all over these skyrocketing utility increases. And we're going to talk about why your utility bills are going up, what the Republicans are doing to cause your utility bills to go up, and what should be done to prevent them from going up.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
It's the start of our favorite season here in Indy, football season. That's right. With all the hype and action this season brings, we know things can get loud and messy real quick. Before you invite your friends and family over to watch the games, you better call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to clean up all those fumble moments in your home. And lucky for you, you can score big this month with great savings. Hi, this is Denny Smith, and you can get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at just $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning too. The Zero Res service is easy to line up, and you can go online at ZeroResIndy.com to do the scheduling at your convenience. And don't forget the ZR water difference. No soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals, leaving things really clean. Now mention WIBC and you'll get 3 rooms cleaned by the Zero Res Pro starting at just $129. $129 plus $75 off duct cleaning too. 317-388-5141. Online at zeroresindy.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An immigrations and customs enforcement operation underway in Massachusetts. Sunny and 54 degrees in downtown Indianapolis with highs today in the low 70s. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 9:31. ICE says this crackdown is part of Operation Patriot 2.0, and Democratic Massachusetts Senator Ed Markey not pleased.
This must be fought because it is an illegal intervention into the local policing responsibilities of a community.
ICE says they're going after illegal immigrants accused of committing serious crimes. Boston's mayor, Michelle Wu, says President Trump is attacking her city to hide his administration's failures. More on what protesters in Greenwood, Indiana had to say about ICE coming up in our 10 o'clock news. A House task force on government transparency is planning to hold a hearing tomorrow on unidentified flying objects. Witness testimony is expected from Air Force and Navy veterans who have all previously discussed witnessing aerial phenomena, as well as journalist George Knapp. Also tomorrow, Apple is expected to release the thinnest iPhone ever at its hardware event. Along with the iPhone 17, Apple is set to release the 17 Pro and 17 Pro Max. And your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. So far, the Dow is down 71 points at 45,329. The S&P 500, though, is up 11 points to 6493. The NASDAQ is up 106 points to 21,807. I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Guys, it's game on at Synergen X and Low T Center, your TRT MVPs.
Book a free TRT consultation and automatically enter for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia, tickets, and more. Female patients, you can win too. Book at trtmvp.com.
At Duke Energy, we're making Indiana's energy grid stronger and more resilient, ready for storms and growing energy demands. We're adding more power to the Indiana grid. We're using new innovations and smart technology to restore outages faster. And we're doing it all in cost-efficient ways to keep bills as low as possible while we serve you with reliable energy. Duke Energy, building a smarter energy future. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Talking on the phone is difficult if you've been exposed to loud noises over time. Combat veterans, factory workers, farmers, gun and motorcycle enthusiasts can have trouble hearing on the telephone. Relay Indiana helps return clarity to your phone conversations. A free service providing telecom accessibility, Relay Indiana allows hard of hearing users to have normal phone conversations through specially trained relay operators. Relay Indiana also provides free loaned equipment to those who qualify. Get the captioned telephone from Relay Indiana. Visit relayindiana.com now.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design design. The design development, getting all the documents together and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Boer Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. BOOHER. BoerRemodeling.com. That's BoerRemodeling.com.
It's Terry Stacy, a customer of Premier Deck Coating, and they've changed our life when it comes to saving us time and money, preparing and protecting our deck year after year. Premier Deck Coating is the ultimate deck protection, sister company of Rhino Shield, locally owned. Right now, we've got black walnuts that fall from the trees that normally used to stain the deck, but no more. Now that we have Premier Deck Coating, it has completely transformed our deck with their special formulated product, and it's backed by a 10-year warranty. They came in, they sanded all the walking surfaces, they repaired the damaged boards, and then they applied their Protect Deck and Railing coating, and that repels mold and moisture, and it resists scratches, and it keeps our deck looking great for years to come. They can also do fences and pergolas, too. And listen to this. Right now, they're able to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans and no payments until next year to qualified customers. Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. We love what they were able to do for us. For a free quote, visit PremierDeckCoating.com.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at B-Window,
we mean business.
So energy bills are all the talk these days, and we're not getting a lot of answers. Our next guest, she would like to get some of those. Kendall Casey Show, I'm Rob. Casey's here. And joining us in studio now, Carrie Hamilton. She's a Democrat representative here in the state of Indiana. Carrie, hello.
Hello. Hi, Rob.
All right, so you've been very vocal about this. Obviously, we've talked a lot about these skyrocketing utility bills, about the prices that people are paying, and you have been very adamant this shouldn't be happening. We got to do something about it.
That's right. That's right.
So let's start with why are the bills going up? Because the Republicans like to say, well, you know, this technology, there's all this demand for stuff. It seems like we're kind of rolling over for the utility companies. What say you?
Yeah. So, Rob, I've been in office now for 9 years.
I'm sorry about you having to go through that.
I appreciate that.
Did you lose a bet?
Yeah, I'm not the smartest person in my household. But it's an honor to serve. But here's why I brought that up. Because for 9 years, I've been voting against legislation that increases utility rates over time. So it goes back. I just point historically to back in, I think it was 2017, maybe 2018, legislation that said if you put solar panel on your house, you will not get the retail rate when you sell extra energy to the grid.
Yeah.
And why does that matter for the average person who doesn't, like, I can't put solar on my house because I have too many trees. So it's
it also sounds very complicated.
But it would help me and you, because when people put solar panels on their houses, they send extra energy back to the grid in their communities.
Yeah.
That energy goes right into the grid. You don't lose any power, which you do when it's generated, 100, 200, 300 miles away. You lose some in transmission. And it's cheaper for ratepayers, but the utilities didn't want that legislation. So jump ahead year after year, different bills to allow utilities to pass on investments to ratepayers, et cetera. And then this year, Rob, we've had these massive utility handouts.
Yeah.
Starting with nuclear.
Yeah, the SMRs, right?
Yeah, so I am not against SMRs, to be clear. Small modular nuclear reactors.
Right. But there's no proof they work. Right.
There is no proof. There's not a single one that operates in the United States. And what we did was say, for this unproven technology, ratepayers will pay the potentially hundreds of millions just to design and permit facilities that may never even open.
Yeah, we're on the hook
terrible.
For 80% of their little Dr. Frankenstein experiment, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
So why do
Dr. Frankenstein.
Well, that's, you probably know by now. We've got little nicknames for everything around here.
It.
Carrie Hamilton is our guest. She's an Indiana State Rep Democrat. We're talking about these rising utility rates and why everything is so high and what can be done about it. So why do Republicans keep passing this sort of legislation? Like, the governor comes out and acts like he's so concerned about this, but like you said, he just signed off on this bill that will no doubt raise rates. Why are Republicans seemingly repeatedly siding with the utilities?
Well, I mean, what I can say is they are. On a regular basis, they put forward and vote for the legislation that utilities want. And now we have the data centers. So this is a whole other piece of the mix, right? But it happens year after year. I will say there is a whole lot of campaign finance involved.
Yes.
In
our friends at the Star had a big little expose on that. I think Capitol Chronicle has run that as well. Is it really that simple? Like, hey,
I don't know if it's that simple, but it's a piece of the puzzle.
So, I mean, it's not just sensationalism or sensational journalism to say, hey, these utilities are handing big money out to these politicians, and it's probably not a coincidence. They keep kind of getting their way.
Well, we all know the saying, follow the money.
You talked about campaign finance, and I'm curious, what about the lobbyists? Does that really move the needle?
Well, I mean, we have stakeholders come to us, including industry lobbyists and utility lobbyists, making the case for their legislation. And, the utility voice is being heard above others. There are consumer voices coming to the State House as well. I listen to them equally, and they often win.
Yeah.
Win with my vote. But unfortunately, they don't win when it comes to the final legislation that's passed by the supermajority.
Okay, so the IURC is the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, is the final say on all of this. The governor has vowed to revamp that board, at least. He's put a new taxpayer advocate or user advocate or whatever her name is in that position. Is anything going to change?
Well, I mean, we had a great person running that agency before, and that's actually the Office of Utility Consumer Counselor.
Yes.
And then there's the IURC.
Right.
They work in concert, but the Office of Utility Consumer Counselor is really there to protect ratepayers.
Right. But they get ignored a lot.
They get ignored a lot. So we can have a great person running that agency, as we have, and we have a new person who's probably very dedicated to the mission, and it's not going to move the needle. I will say the governor signed the legislation we've been talking about. The big handouts to SMRs, the handouts to data centers. He just signed that legislation a couple months ago.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And so it was a little frustrating to see a press release where he's very concerned about rates.
Yes. Do you think he knows he signed that? Like, have you reminded him? Hello, sir.
I'm pretty sure he does.
Okay, Carrie Hamilton, Indiana State Representative, Democrat, is our guest. Let's talk about the data centers for a few minutes. I mean, they're going to be a major problem in this, right, because of all the power that they use.
Yeah, so here's a big sort of industry handout, right? And I want to go back to just make this comparison. I talked about people putting solar on their houses and not being able to get a reasonable rate for the energy they put back on the grid.
Which they also gutted during this property tax bill, right? Didn't they make some changes to that as well? Because our old pal Jacob Stewart was from IndyStar was very upset about this.
So the family that wants to put solar on their house gets nixed, but the big industry that wants to do whatever they want gets support. So, we won't let families make investments that make sense, but industry can do whatever they want and basically screw utility ratepayers.
I'm curious, what have you heard about the legislative session that's coming up? Because we've heard they're going to readdress property taxes and utilities will be a priority. What have you heard?
Well, first of all, you mean the special session? That's what.
No, I'm talking about just the regular session coming up in January. But have you heard that there will be a special session? Let's talk about both.
Well, okay. So as far as the special session goes, I believe we probably will have one. We'll know when we know, which will be soon. When it comes to the next session and dealing with these issues, I mean, they created my Republican colleagues created this mess both on the property tax side and the utility side over many years.
Yeah.
And the idea that they would come back and totally change it, we'll see. I don't think it's going to happen.
Should we be giving away financial incentives to these data centers?
No. I think what we need, I support a moratorium until we put some guardrails in place about water use, about energy use and who's paying for that energy, about neighbors, and certainly re-look at the tax abatements. I'm not a fan of these massive tax abatements for facilities that nobody wants in their communities.
Do you know what these data centers actually contribute to the community? Like we've had this,
that's a great question.
We've had this conversation. We can't figure it out why they get all these incentives because there are basically no jobs.
That's right.
They're just dystopian buildings. So why do we give them all these abatements if they're not doing anything other than contributing a building that's already being abated through the local planning in town and city, processes?
It's a great question. So several years ago, probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago, When I first heard the word data center at the State House, it was kind of before AI was a thing, and it wasn't. So it was a different conversation in that regard. But we heard in the legislature that there would be all of these businesses popping up nearby with lots of jobs and secondary economy elements that would make these investments smart. That's not happening. And now what we realize is these are massive energy hogs that will contribute to the average ratepayer, homeowner, household paying more. And that's not acceptable.
Couple minutes left here with Carrie Hamilton. She's a Democrat state representative. We're talking about energy use. We're talking about energy bills. We're talking about the data centers. Okay, so if you were the governor, let's just do a little exercise here. What should he be doing in terms of trying to get the utility stuff under control? If you had a chance to meet with him, what would you tell him to be doing?
Oh, goodness. So, we all need our utility companies to operate. And let me just say this, Rob and Casey, I think that we need to couch this conversation and make sure everyone who's listening knows the folks that are servicing your utility lines and working in your community for your utility company, these are great people doing their jobs and helping us have electricity to our homes every day.
So don't be
we
mean
support
to them.
those folks.
Yeah.
I just have to say that.
Right.
I just have to say
be
that.
nice to the linemen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exactly. What I would say to the governor is let's have a more balanced energy policy. The utilities are making huge profits.
They're not running a soup kitchen.
They're not. And, I'm going to segue for a moment and just point out, since we're here in Indianapolis, I represent AES customers.
Yeah.
AES just asked for an increase in their profit margin. So last year, two years ago they came, and then last year the rates went, 2 years ago they came for a rate increase request. Last year they went into effect. So AES customers are paying significantly more, and this is true of utilities across the state.
Sure.
But AES, they all have big profit margins that are pretty much guaranteed, their return on equity, and they just asked, and after this massive increase that's really hurting families, they asked to not just maybe come back and say we need to make more investments to increase reliability.
Right.
No, they said we need to increase our profit margin.
Make more money.
That's going to out-of-state investors and executives.
Yeah,
That
Casey,
is maddening to me.
Casey has to keep her house at 83 degrees now, so I'm very concerned for her. So we can get this under control. You're an AES person, are you?
No, you wouldn't believe it, Rob. I have been so much more aware, and Carrie, you've probably had this experience as well. I'm shutting off all the lights and the fans and the TVs, and I'm like, oh, when I leave a room, the light's coming off now. And before I was kind of like, it's just so much more top of mind.
Absolutely.
Now.
Totally. Yeah. Absolutely my household, too.
All right. Well, thank you for trying to do something. And please keep us posted on what our audience can do. I know everybody got fired up with the AES stuff, but just keep us posted on what we can do. And sorry you have to work with Republicans.
Thank you very much, both of you, for having me on today.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on the Hammer and Nigel show, a complete recap of that first Colts game, plus August job reports were kind of a nightmare. 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Ooh,
deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet. Thank you. High five, everybody. High five.
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
It's Terry Stacy, a customer of Premier Deck Coating, and they've changed our life when it comes to saving us time and money, preparing and protecting our deck year after year. Premier Deck Coating is the ultimate deck protection, sister company of Rhino Shield, locally owned. Right now, we've got black walnuts that fall from the trees that normally used to stain the deck, but no more. Now that we have Premier Deck Coating, it has completely transformed our deck with their special formulated product, and it's backed by a 10-year warranty. They came in, they sanded all the walking surfaces, they repaired the damaged boards, and then they applied their Protect Deck and Railing coating, and that repels mold and moisture, and it resists scratches, and it keeps our deck looking great for years to come. They can also do fences and pergolas, too. And listen to this. Right now, they're able to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans and no payments until next year to qualified customers. Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. We love what they were able to do for us. For a free quote, visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Head online to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra Thursday, December 4th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
Something big we talked about earlier. Our old pals at the Capitol Chronicle, Indiana Capitol Chronicle, they have now done a big expose on this Jennifer Ruth Green surprise resignation.
Yes.
And one of the things that she was trying to pin it as, without saying it directly, she conveniently said, so Jennifer Ruth Green has resigned. She's a failed congressional candidate.
She stepped down as Indiana Secretary of Public Safety.
Right. After being rejected by the voters, Braun gave her a cushy $275,000 job in his administration. And 8 months later, she just conveniently quits. No rhyme or reason for any of it. And she posts this photo of her off to military service.
I'm off to military duty.
And it sort of felt like she was trying to say, without saying it,
I was called up.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Capitol Chronicle said, and we said, look, we haven't seen anybody say this in the release, that unlike Jim Banks when he had to resign as a state senator to go, I believe it was in Afghanistan where he had to go, like nobody's saying this, which you would be all over that if it was some heroic feat to serve our, long-term serve our country. Plus, how would you run for Congress, which is the rumored thing she wants to do again, if indeed you were off serving the country, right? Capitol Chronicle, in their reporting on this, said, quote, the military service Green referenced is not a deployment, but a routine National Guard duty expected to last only a week or two.
Correct.
So there you go. So I'll come back to who gives up a cushy $275,000 plus benefits government job for no reason after being there 8 months.
So Tim Edson, who served as her consultant on her 22 congressional race, said that she's seriously weighing another run for Congress in Northwest Indiana.
I'll repeat myself, Casey.
But she could do that and still be in the cabinet.
Yes.
Okay.
I find this very fascinating that somebody would just give that up willy-nilly without knowing for sure because she could do all of this, and then the moment she says go, I'm going to do it, okay, resign, and whatever. So anyway, we wanted to put that point of clarification.
Well, my question is, Scott, he's the superintendent of the Indiana State Police. He has now accepted the role of Secretary of Public Safety.
Yes.
He's going to do both. Does that mean he gets paid for both positions?
I don't know. I don't know. There's several questions I'd like to ask Anthony Scott, of course, related to the Tom Kleinhelter investigation, et cetera. Maybe we should, I'll put you in charge of inviting him on the show because he's on an email thread that I have. Remember when we were trying to get that info on Aaliyah, the investigating Kleinhelter, and possibly having ramifications of law enforcement investigating him. He responded on that thread. I wonder if his email's still the same now that he's got this promotion.
So what you're saying is you're wanting me to pick a fight with the superintendent of the Indiana State Police.
No, people just like you better. They're more apt to respond to you than they are me. Hey, well, shoot, we're going to run out of time. We got to talk about something you're doing, we're going to do something I'm doing. But when we come back, it's the main event for today's show. The lieutenant governor, he threw up all over himself, and he got broken by Indy Reporter. It was awesome.
We'll talk about it coming up. It's 93 WIBC.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back at the racing capital of the world. This sports car racing event, September 19th through 21st, is different than anything you've seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunday the 21st, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. And now the race runs 6 hours. The paddock is open for fans all weekend long. Infield camping opportunities make this a can't-miss weekend. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. Get your tickets at IMS.com.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve, plus complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B? Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
Comprehensive cancer care is not just about treating cancer. It's caring for the person behind the diagnosis. It's our team by your side to listen, connect, and encourage, and to celebrate every milestone together. Because at Franciscan Health, your journey is our journey. Your victory is our victory. Your hope and trust in us to provide extraordinary cancer care with the latest advancements, plus a little extra TLC, is our mission. Learn more at franciscanhealth.org/cancercare.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, what police in Indianapolis know so far about a shooting from this morning, what Beech Grove leaders say they're doing about the city's budget and the problems that it poses, and why people in Greenwood are upset about ICE. Those stories and more coming up after Fox News Radio at the top of the hour. You are listening to 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
They're starting to pick a jury. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. To put Ryan Ruth on trial, the man charged in the second Trump assassination attempt thwarted at the president's country club in West Palm Beach, Florida, while he was golfing last September.
Ruth will not be in a prison jumpsuit. Instead, he was seen today wearing a gray suit with a red striped tie, shackled at the ankles but not the wrists.
Fox's Dana Maria McNichol outside the court in Fort Pierce, Florida, where Ruth is defending himself.
Ruth submitted 10 questions to federal judge Eileen Cannon this morning, including one about asking the jurors if they would stop for a turtle in the middle of the road. She told Ruth none of his questions on his list have any bearings whatsoever. Judge Eileen Cannon said his questions were all politically charged, including questions about students for Palestine and purchasing Greenland.
Opening statements are planned for Thursday. President Trump just posted on True Social that he wants to help the people of Chicago, that only criminals will be hurt if he sends the National Guard, adding, Governor J.B. Pritzker, a Democrat, doesn't want the federal government's help. Why? What's wrong with this guy? As a federal immigration crackdown increases.
ICE agents are in Chicago. The National Guard is not. The agents were operating in a northwest suburb called Palatine yesterday, and a source tells me they will indeed be operating in the city today.
Fox's Mike Tobin in Chicago. President Trump also in another True Social post says Israel's agreed to a ceasefire plan for Gaza, warning Hamas to also accept or face the consequences as the war rages. A short time ago, Israeli bombings took down a high-rise around Gaza City after warning Palestinians to evacuate the area. In Jerusalem, 2 Palestinian gunmen opened fire at a bus, killing 6 people, wounding a dozen, until an off-duty soldier and armed civilians shot and killed the shooters. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
We are now in pursuit, sieging the villages from which the murderers came, and we will get everyone who helped them, everyone who sent them.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Gunfire on Indy's northeast side. You've got a sunny sky with a clear radar, 57 degrees in the Circle City. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 10:02. That's where a boy was shot this morning around 3 o'clock. IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer says the boy told them that someone shot him for no reason while he was standing on steps.
That was the only description that he was able to give us.
They're looking for the shooter now, so if you know of anything, be sure to call IMPD or Crime Stoppers. Protesters in Greenwood had something to say about immigration this weekend. Johnette Cruz reports.
Outside of U.S. Representative Jefferson Shreve's office on Sunday, protesters gathered to oppose the use of tax dollars to house undocumented immigrants at Camp Atterbury. They argued that these funds should instead be used to address the ongoing housing crisis and homelessness in their communities. People also emphasized that affordable housing for Hoosiers should be a priority. Representative Shreve has previously stated his focus is on Hoosier workers over the undocumented immigrants in our area. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You might have heard about the city of Beech Grove having budget trouble. To ease that burden, city leaders, including the mayor and councilors there, agreed to forego their annual raises to help that. But that only saves about $6,000. The proposed budget still includes payroll increases, contract hikes, and utility fee raises. Lots of players contributed to the Indianapolis Colts pounding of the Miami Dolphins on Sunday, 33-8. One of them being quarterback Daniel Jones, who threw for a touchdown and rushed for 2 more. Jones says you have to keep it all in perspective, though.
You know, it's a long season, 17-game season, and you got to play at a high level for the whole time. So, you know, good start. I think everyone on our team's mature enough, knows enough that it's about what you're able to sustain through, you know, the course of the season. So
the Colts have the Denver Broncos this weekend, and not long after the Colts won their game Sunday, the Indiana Fever routed the Washington Mystics 94-65. That means they have secured a WNBA playoff berth for the second straight year, and they did it despite having lost 5 players to season-ending injuries, including Caitlin Clark. I'm Sean Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. 10:04, Kendall and Casey coming back in 1 minute.
fall in Indy. And if you hate painting year after year, do what your neighbor Edwina did. She called Rhino Shield.
So over the years, I've had to touch up the house. I just got to the point where I couldn't spend any more money on the outside of the house. And when I saw Rhino Shield, I thought that was the answer to my problem.
And Rhino Shield's not paint. It's better.
I'd had painters here before, and it was usually quite a disaster with them leaving their equipment here and picking up things in the yard. But Rhino Shield was right on it.
Get the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield right now for 15% off the regular price.
The gentleman said, if you're interested, give me a call. And I said, honestly, can you come tomorrow?
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler's workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come check us out at your nearby store. Our engagement rings are made with love from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken.
Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This hour is powered by Sundown Gardens, Hamilton County's fall nursery headquarters.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Remember when we did our tease on Friday?
On Friday.
And we were like, well, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. So hopefully, maybe the politicians will do something stupid and we'll talk about that on Monday.
Yeah, seemed like, that was just kind of a throwaway. Didn't really know what was going to happen.
Yeah, we're talking about the liner.
But then it did.
Yeah, well, you'll hear throughout the course of the program a liner that runs, or programs, plural, other programs. Hey, listen to Kendall and Casey. Listen to us. Here's what we're going to talk about. And it's so hard to do the one on Friday because you have no idea what's going to happen over the weekend.
Right.
And what the lead story is going to be and blah, blah, blah. And so we were just like, well,
somebody will do something.
and there were numerous people who did numerous stupid things over the weekend. And chief among them is the lieutenant governor and this post he made about meeting with Haitian pastors, and the entire basically conservative internet has just dumped all over this guy.
Yep.
And so before we get into what he said, look, one of the takeaways from this has to be is you're in an adult world now. And when you're in an adult world, which being the number 2 elected official in an entire state is a very adult world, the microphone's going to talk back.
Right.
And I think for so much of Micah's existence, because he's so, until you get to know him, he's so likable. And until you learn enough to see through it, he
hasn't had to handle objections.
Right. People just kind of have always gone with whatever he said because he is an incredible orator. He's a great speaker, and he's not used to account for the things that he says and does. And it is like, dude, you clearly have still 8 months into this thing not processed that everything you say and do is going to be scrutinized. And when you run on and win on flipping a middle finger to the power structure, there's going to be a giant microscope over all of that, and he just doesn't seem to be able to process it.
Yeah, he is such a lightning rod. But to your point, he does have a skill. He is a good orator, and the fact that he can quote the Bible at the drop of a hat, it's impressive to be around. But then you have to kind of decipher through all of that.
And he also made an egregious mistake in that he generally refused to either surround himself or listen to people outside of his previous orbit. Most of the people that he brought into the State House with him had no idea how the State House worked or the media. And those are the people that he decided to listen to. He really brought two people in from outside of his orbit, Aaron Sheridan and your husband. And in the case of Aaron Sheridan, he dismissed her because she kept telling him what he couldn't do and how the world actually worked. And he didn't like that and he didn't want to hear it. And she tried to save him from himself. And he's in a world of hurt, not just on this Haitian pastor thing, but obviously the grand jury, which does exist. It is very real. I now know of 3 people who have given testimony to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. And she did everything in her power to help him, and he didn't want to hear it because he didn't want to hear it's not the Wild West in state government. There are rules, there are boundaries. So he fired her, and then your husband, who he wouldn't listen to, and finally your husband reached the up for which he could not stand and said, I'm out of here, I'm done with you. And thus he keeps finding himself in these positions where he says stupid stuff, he tweets stupid stuff, and then he tries to play victim when society looks at it and goes, that's really stupid. That's the Micah MO. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always somebody else to blame. It's always somebody else sensationalizing or out to get him or whatever other than Micah. It's never Micah's fault. All right, so let's talk about what he did.
Okay.
So when Micah was running for lieutenant governor, he issued a very forceful statement. This was when Trump at the debate had said the Haitian migrants in Ohio, reading the cats, reading the dogs.
Right.
And then it turns out that Indiana has a whole bunch of these Haitian migrants in our state as well. Certain cities have a huge population. Logansport, thank you. And Micah made what were at the time correct statements about these people being here. And we talked about on the air, we can discuss illegal immigration, which is a massive issue. It's a huge issue. And people coming into this country, sneaking in, taking jobs, etc. And Trump has dealt with that. But another issue that has to be dealt with are people who have, quote unquote, legally come into this country, who are under these asylum laws, etc., because they are not adapting to American society. They're bringing their customs, their norms with them. And in the case of a place like Logansport, they're in many cases taking over cities, taking over communities. We've said, look at your Walmart in central Indiana. If you live in a donut county, go to your Walmart, and there's a good chance it looks nothing like it looked 10 or 15 years ago. Clearly, we have a massive issue with people moving into our state, and many of them are under this asylum banner in which, one, they probably shouldn't even be here. And 2, if they are, they're certainly not acting like they feel grateful to be here because they're expecting everybody to change and adapt to them. And Micah, during the campaign, said the right thing, which is, hey, no, not doing that. Out of here.
Back in October of 24, he said Logansport officials are raising concerns about the rapid growth of the immigrant population, calling it unsustainable for the community. And he goes on to say there is a money trail involved.
Yeah. And so that's why. So he makes this post then. I don't know what day the post came down, but he makes this post about meeting with all of these Haitian pastors. And I think a reasonable person. See, this is the other thing the Micah people try to do now is somehow Casey, we have manipulated the entire internet. Are you aware of that?
Did not know that.
So
the power.
So our pal indie reporter broke this story, caught the tweet, put it out there, and was like, "What the heck is this guy doing?" He's basically appears. I think a reasonable person would read the post that Micah made and appeared open to these people being allowed to stay in this country, and that we should adapt around them like these asylum seekers are the good people in the equation. And Indie Reporter pointed it out and made the post and was like, what in the world is going on here? This appears to be in direct contrast
with things that he has said in the past.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So then, and again, keep in mind, the whole world can see the post and read it for themselves.
Or they could.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. They could read it for themselves. And, all of these leading conservative voices, the Srinovich guy and Deese and all these people Harris start retweeting, posting it on Facebook. And there was an outcry from people going, what in the world has happened to Micah Beckwith? And it reached a fever pitch to the point where apparently he couldn't take the smoke anymore, and he just deleted the tweet.
So he's been doing these pastor roundtables for a while. That's not a new occurrence, and he has posted about them in the past. But this post was a little bit more ambiguous, and there are trigger words on X that you have to be very direct in your thought and intent. And this post was not the most direct. There was room for wiggle in it. And that's what really upset a lot of people.
Yeah, Tony talked about this morning. He's right. Micah's toast. Now, look, Micah didn't really want to be a politician. Micah wants to be a media star. So Tony's saying, well, you'll never be governor. I don't think Micah wanted to be governor. I think Micah is using or tried to use the lieutenant governor to elevate, Charlie Kirk's his hero. He wants to be Charlie Kirk and to try to elevate himself in that orbit. Problem Micah has now is he's probably done there too, because all these people of this orbit that he craves to be in have just been
all sides,
have come down on him. And this is where it comes back to he craves attention. And when you crave attention, you aren't capable of processing, hey, how is this thing going to play out? How is this going to look compared to the contrast I made? And if he tries to throw the excuse out, well, I was doing this as a pastor, you put it on your official government account.
It's true.
You didn't post this on the Micah Beckwith personal account. You put this on your official lieutenant governor account, in which your job as a state, not employee, but an elected official, is what you're doing for the taxpayers, for us. So you can't say I was doing this as a pastor. You were doing this as lieutenant governor, and you can't act remotely surprised, given your previous statements, that everybody's going to be outraged about this. Because people are sick in this country of people coming into our country, sucking up resources, and then asking us to adapt to them. That's what the Trump election, in large part, was all about. Was people are sick as Americans, as Hoosiers, of not having, as Americans and Hoosiers, being put first and everybody else being put first but us. So he shouldn't act surprised that people were outraged. He shouldn't act like he's a victim in all of this. And when you crave attention and you choose to surround yourself with people who don't know how the system operates and don't know what's going on and can't stop you and say, this is a horrible idea, when you don't have the political instincts, which he clearly does not, to stop himself, this is what's going to happen. And you're not a victim. This is not some Rob and Casey conspiracy or something we're amping up. We didn't manipulate the entire internet. A lot of people who are livid at you are people who have previously supported you. And I just love that our old pal, indie reporter, was the guy who broke the story.
I love that in no way, shape, or form was I involved.
Well, no, neither of us were involved in this. No. We didn't have anything to do with any of it.
Nope.
Like we are reporting on the news. You made the tweet. You made the post. You took the meeting. You have to own that, and you should not be, if you have an IQ above 7, surprised that people are very concerned and in some cases outraged over this.
Yeah. He said that when he met with the people, there were more than 40,000 seeking asylum here in Indiana. And that was the trigger line right there. More than 40,000 are seeking asylum here in Indiana. That number has been questioned. Is it 40,000? Is it 25,000? It doesn't matter. Many people are making a big deal that he turned his comments off on that post. His comments have been off since the account began. And that's the rule with official state accounts. It's all or nothing. You can leave the comments open to everybody, or you can completely turn them off. And that's what he did from the beginning.
Yeah, and that's fine. He can do that. Now, look, I think as a government account, your comments should be on because we own that account as people. It's our account. That's our office. But you're right. From a legal perspective, he can do. Now, there are some people that say, and he could be in some issue over deleting the tweet about whether, because it's a government account, whether he can actually do that. Don't know. People are looking into that. That'll be up for somebody else to decide. Here's Micah. here's why people are angry at you. Because you didn't meet with people about the utility bills. It wasn't a meeting about property taxes. It wasn't a meeting about gas tax. It wasn't a meeting about the tolls that are coming. It wasn't a meeting about data centers. There's a million different people you could have met with who are Indiana born and bred, who are American citizens through and through, who are getting crushed, not just by the federal government, by the state government, of which you are the number 2 person. This, Micah, is why people are outraged. Because what's the post about? It's not about meeting or helping those people. It was about meeting with people who are in this country through asylum, and people are sick of it. They're just sick of it. They're sick of not being first. They're sick of not being able to afford life. They're sick of not being able to afford food or gas or their mortgages or the property or all of this stuff. There's a million different things you could have done a meeting on, and people would have been like, good for him. And you chose deliberately to do this thing because you crave attention, and it's biting you in the ass.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
The state of Texas can require voter ID for mail-in ballots.
It's not required already.
But Joe Biden got 82 million legal votes, Nigel. If you think otherwise, you might as well put the tinfoil hat on, okay? I don't think it's asking too much to have some sort of proof that you're a legal citizen in your mail-in ballot. Find a way.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at
B-Window, we mean business.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is a story about Billy Joe and Bobby.
So we both have some breaking personal news.
So exciting. Not really. Not in my case, anyway.
Okay, well, for you
I don't
first,
know what yours is.
You're going to be gone Thursday.
I am. Minimally Thursday.
Yeah, it could be a week.
I don't know. It could
Be a
go
month.
longer. So I got called for jury duty. And, you have to call a number the night before to see if they're still doing the case.
Oh.
And how many cases they have scheduled that day and how many jurors they will need.
Okay, so you may not. Are you definitely gone? You're taking the day off regardless.
Well, I mean,
It's
yeah.
okay. You can do that.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. So you will not be here Thursday.
Right.
But you may not have to go to the jury duty.
We'll see. I'll find out Wednesday night. I call the number. Last time this happened to me, I called the number and they said, "Yeah, you still got to come." So,
but you didn't get picked.
I didn't get picked for the jury. No.
There's no way they're picking you.
Well, I had a really high number last time, and I have a high number again this time. It's like, if they only have one case, they're going to pick 40 people.
There's no way, given what you do for a job, that anybody's going to let you be on a jury.
Right, and then even if I got down to the 15, because they take like 12 and then alternates, and they did the whole question, like, what do you do for a living?
No way.
Say,
What a waste.
well, I co-host a political talk show on WIBC.
That would be hilarious if they did let you be on the jury. But it's just a waste of your time because there's no way that they're not going to be like, yeah, sorry, that's not
Do
gonna
you
work.
find yourself as an opinionated person? Yeah, a little. Sometimes between 9 and noon. So, yeah, and you never know because it is always in the last hour that the plea deals get done.
So you might have to sit there and then nothing happens.
Correct. You could still get picked. You could still be seated, and then the lawyers work out the plea deal, and then they come in and say, no, it's done. You're dismissed.
You could be prepared to send a man to the gas chamber, and then you don't get the opportunity to do it.
It's quite a responsibility.
Sending a man to the gas chamber? Yes. Yes,
being
it is.
on a jury, this is what I get for voting, right?
Yeah. That's right. You're in the system.
I'm in the system.
Yeah. All right. So, but you don't have to take a day off for that. I don't think.
It doesn't go against my PTO if that's what you mean.
Are you going to be honest and just are you going to tell him if you don't have the jury duty, or are you just going to take the day off and say I had jury duty? We won't snitch on you.
Oh, right. No, we won't tell.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean,
don't expect me on Thursday.
Okay, very good.
I'm being clear here.
Fine. Now,
I think Jerry Lopez is coming in, right?
No, Jerry, we love Jerry.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll play the Dirty
he's
Diego
already
theme
planning
on a
on
loop.
it.
It'll be great.
Yeah, we should have him do it live.
Yeah, that's what we will
have
do.
Him sing live.
Perfect, Kevin.
Yeah.
That'll be perfect. Okay, so you're off Thursday. This is breaking news. Now, you have a story here, right? What's the story?
Oh, the story is why do American workers feel guilty about taking vacation days they've earned?
That's a thing, right?
Yeah. I don't know. There's probably a word for it, but they did this huge study, interviewed 860 full-time U.S. employees, and the people felt like they would be penalized or they would get worse performance reviews.
Really? That's wild.
After they take their PTO.
Okay.
Or they shorten their vacations or even apologize.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah, I want to take a day off. Is that okay?
Well, this sort of dovetails into, as most of our audience knows, I almost never take days off. And there's two reasons for this, all right? And I'll be very perfectly honest.
Mm-hmm.
One, this job is my hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have
this is fun sport for you.
Yes. So, I mean, I come in here and have fun every day. So, why would you not want to do something that's fun? And I get very weird. Queso, back me up on this. I get very weird when I'm not in control of everything. And I feel like if I'm not here, that I've lost control of the situation. It's the OCD and the, so I...
Do you feel like after one day, like you're worried you'd be replaced?
No, it's not. No, they're not going to replace this.
I mean,
I'm not. No, I'm never worried I'm going to be replaced. I just I have a lot of shortcomings, Casey, and one of them is I get very weird if I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Like in my OCD.
I like this transparency.
In my OC, Stephen, I had a lovely evening of dinner and dancing with Indie Reporter last night, and we were talking about this exact thing. Like it is weird for me to not be here because it's a hobby. And by the way, as part of my evening of dinner and dancing with Indie Reporter at Indie_Reporter_ on Twitter, I gave him $20, my contribution to the State Senator Mike Bohachik OWI Body Cam Fund.
Right,
it's going to cost us $150 to get it.
Because you feel the only way to hold these people accountable is public shaming.
That's right. Yes,
Yeah.
That's correct.
Okay.
And we will get way more than $20 worth of joy out of watching that guy. Allegedly, he was trying to eat his food while the officer was giving him commands, and I hope that is all gloriously front and center because public shaming is the only... These guys don't get any real punishment, so the public humiliation is their only shot, and Steven's trying to get the body cam footage. But we were talking about this. I just, like, if I'm gone, I feel like I've lost control of the situation.
It's true.
And I enjoy being here anyway, and I've lost control of the situation, so I'm loath to take days off. That's one side of it. Here's the second side. They don't really count what we do in December here on this radio station.
You mean as far as ratings?
Yeah, like it's sort of just an accepted thing because it's Christmas. So many people are off. The whole rating system, people are different trends, whatever. So they kind of just throw out what we do in December. And I so love every month, Casey, being able to take those ratings, point them towards 200 West Washington, and show them, in addition with an extension of my middle finger towards those people, that if I take days off, I can't run the risk of having something happen to our ratings. I know how miserable it makes those people. So that's why I take them all in December, because it doesn't matter. They throw that out anyway, and then I can be right back first of the year making those people miserable again.
Yes.
Is that a mortal character flaw?
It's really hard on me when you're gone for the entire month of December. And I've encouraged you over the past couple of years to spread it out just a little bit.
Yeah, I know. And I just
do it for the kid over here.
I can't get past my need to just
I know.
Make those people miserable.
But you are taking a day off.
I am.
Are you doing something fun? Can we speak of what activities you'll be doing?
So there are really 3 Super Bowl events in golf now, professional golf. One is the Masters. 2 is the U.S. Open, at least in this country, and 3 is the Ryder Cup. Now, British Open abroad is the world's biggest golf tournament, but we don't really engage with that here. And so the Ryder Cup, for those who don't know, is sort of like the Olympics of golf. Now, there is an actual Olympics of golf, but it's not really. This is USA versus Europe. It's a massive deal. It only happens every 2 years. One year it's in America, then it'll go over to a course in Europe. And September 26th through the 28th is the Ryder Cup. It's at Bethpage Black, which is a famous course in New York. And it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And the Friday, normally I can ignore you and watch the golf and do the show.
Sure.
The problem with the Ryder Cup is it starts early in the morning on Friday. They play all day. Every shot matters because it's match. It's not just like your guy, he's got 4 rounds, a couple shots don't matter. Every shot matters. I didn't feel like I could properly ignore you and watch the golf and do the show. So I'm going to take September the 26th off so I can watch the Ryder Cup all day.
So that's a nice 3-day weekend that you're going to be having.
Yeah. That's
Good
my
for
plan.
you.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're taking a day off. You need it.
Yeah. So there you go.
Recharge. Do something fun for Rob.
Yeah. Why don't you have John Herrick fill in for me?
Okay.
He loves to talk politics.
If he would, I would welcome it.
Pass. Hard pass.
He's up next with the news on 93 WIBC.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Rob. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. And no interest for 3 whole years. Restrictions apply. Call 317-659-7574. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
What could happen with the president's tariffs? You've got a sunny sky and it's 59 degrees in the Circle City. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 10:31. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he thinks the Supreme Court will declare President Trump's global tariffs legal. But if it doesn't, he tells NBC's Meet the Press the Treasury could have to hand out big refunds.
We would have to give a refund on about half the tariffs, which would be terrible for the Treasury.
And you're prepared to give those refunds?
Well, I mean, there's no be prepared. If the court says it, we'd have to do it.
And Bessent says it would be bad for the Treasury if the court rules against the administration. A bipartisan team of House lawmakers says they have enough votes to force a release of the Justice Department files on the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. President Trump's allies spent years accusing Democrats of covering up names in the Epstein files, which Trump now calls a hoax. This weekend at the movies,
this thing in your house is a demon.
The Conjuring Last Rites scared up $83 million at the domestic box office and $187 million over the weekend globally. Last Rites is also the 8th #1 opening movie for Warner Brothers this year. I'm John Herrick on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning. Jim Scott is the owner, and he says they stand behind their work just like American Standard stands behind their equipment.
We give everybody a 3-year labor warranty, and then the manufacturer gives 10 years. So, yeah, people are pretty well set.
If you're in Clinton, Boone, or Hamilton County, call Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning. 765-601-1461. Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Well, who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 Accord SE for $329 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake. Visit our showroom off State Road 37 today. Tax and title fees not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends September 30th. See dealer for details.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $300 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spread, totals, player props.
$300 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. TNCs apply. In-app only.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Dear driver, thank you. Thank you for slowing down when you saw the orange cones and road construction signs. My husband is one of those road workers. And today, you saved his life. If you hadn't slowed down, you would have missed that lane change, driven right into the work zone, and you would have killed him. Because you were driving differently. He'll be at our son's Little League game this weekend. He'll be there to walk our daughter down the aisle. He'll be out there tomorrow, making Indiana's roads safer. Thank you.
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Brian Short, Business Manager for the Indiana Laborers District Council. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, save lives. We're all in this together.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
It's JMV and fall is in full swing at Miss M's Home and Garden. Locally grown mums and pumpkins plus fall annuals and decor. State Road 135 in Bargersville. MissMsHomeandGarden.com.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
So see, they opened the roof and they won the game.
Yeah, it was a beautiful weekend, huh? Good day for a game yesterday. Weather was perfect.
Now, if you longtime listeners of the program, it's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. Know that I have been outraged since the date of construction of Lucas Oil Stadium that the taxpayers, because we paid for all of it, right? The taxpayers were on the hook, and it's estimated, it's not known for sure, but I've heard multiple people who I kind of trust say between $70 and $100 million of the $700+ million stadium, it's well over $1 billion with interest paid out over time, went to making that roof a retractable roof. And my outrage about this has been, it is primarily, if we accept the premise that Lucas Oil Stadium was this incredible economic development opportunity, which is how it got sold to everybody, we must have this to keep the Colts, okay, and all the economic development things it will attract. Okay, still disagree, but if indeed that was the premise of it, the retractable roof, there has never been a single event that did or did not come here because the retractable roof exists.
Right.
So don't tell me that it's an economic development tool when it was clearly just a play toy of a trust fund kid. Jim Irsay, he wanted the retractable roof. They gave it to him. You wasted between $70 and $100 million of our money for nothing other than to make the rich guy happy. Then on top of that, how many times, I think it's something like less than 40 times in the history of the stadium,
has it been open?
The roof has actually been open. So we're well over $1 million a pull on that retractable roof, which did nothing for economic development, which poor and middle class people were forced to pay for. And how many times has it been like a perfectly beautiful day? Oh, roof is closed. Oh, the roof won't open. Roof is broke.
Right. It's been broken a lot.
So, yeah, and I love our audience so much. I can't tell you the amount of people who were tagging me and stuff yesterday. Hey,
the roof's open. Yeah, I know. I thought about you too.
Thank you. It's good to be thought about. The other side of this is I saw they named one of the streets. I can't remember which one it was, but one of them outside of Lucas Oil Stadium.
Is that a permanent thing?
I don't know. Probably not. For Jim Irsay. How about we name it for the taxpayer?
Yeah.
Because that stadium doesn't exist because of Jim Irsay. It exists because of us. How about Taxpayer Boulevard? Right. Like, I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. Jim Irsay was the beneficiary of strong-arming the city and the politicians who were weak enough not to stand up to him. And the politicians didn't pay for it. We paid for it. So when we're inducting Jim Irsay into the Hall of Fame, fine,
the
whatever.
Ring of Honor.
But how about we induct the taxpayers into the Hall of Fame? Because we did way more for the Colts and the city of Indianapolis than he ever did. That's our money. All that stuff he has, so much of it came on the backs of our money. All that money that family gets based on what happens inside of Lucas Oil Stadium, that was done on our backs, our money. So how about the taxpayers get a street named after us? How about the taxpayers get into the Ring of Honor, the Hall of Fame? Rant over.
So the Colts, they won.
Yes, they did. They
First
played very
time in week 1 since 2013.
That's right. It's been a long time since they won week 1. Now, I asked Jeff Rickard, co-host of the Fan Morning Show, I said, as a football novice, although I did have a good day yesterday on the Degenerates Next Door Sports Betting Podcast picks, our balling on a budget, we hit that 4-leg parlay. That was a big payout. And we had the over in the Sunday Night Football game, which we cashed in the third quarter. So that was a good day. But as a football novice, I said, are the Colts really good or is Miami really bad? He said Miami stinks.
Okay. You've got your answer.
But he said, they played well, but Miami stinks. So we shouldn't think that every game is going to go in that fashion.
That way.
Yeah.
The Colts, they host the Denver Broncos in week 2, but they started a new tradition in memory of Jim Irsay.
Steichen shared with us that Purdue University's Guitar Lab built a guitar for the Colts that says "Win for Jim." You see it there. It was gifted to the Colts by Purdue for all that Irsay has done for the state. And every Saturday night at the team meeting, Shane Steichen will give out that guitar to one player to carry it into the stadium the following day. Today it was DeForest Buckner.
What the hell did all he's done for the state? What did he do for the state other than strong arm the poor and middle class people out of $1 billion+ and make a gajillion dollars off of that? All he did for the state, that's like in The Godfather when the Black Hand is handing out, the fruit and stuff to the people, the ill-begotten gains. All that stuff he has is because we paid for most of it. He's giving away somebody else's money in most cases. What do you mean all he's done for the state? What about all we've done for the state?
Maybe they can put a guitar with your name on it. The taxpayer guitar. So a lot of games on YouTube, right? Streaming. Now, the Chiefs and the Chargers game was in Brazil. Did you watch that game? It was on in the background. I wouldn't say I was watching it. I was aware of it.
Yeah, I had the Chargers getting 3, and that worked out well. I'm sure I'm cursing myself ahead of this Bears game tonight, so I'm not even going to say it, but we've done very well so far on all of our NFL picks, just in time for the Bears to totally crap the bed tonight on Monday Night Football.
And what about your college games?
We were 1-1 this weekend, so we're 4-2 on the year in college. So we're off to, but it's like like one of those teams, the Pirates or the Rockies, is leading the division at the end of April, and their fan base is like, yeah, we haven't won in a long time, and this is our year. And then by June, they're like, oh, jeez. That's usually how sports betting goes. You get off to a hot start, water finds its level,
and then it falls apart.
Yeah.
What did I texted you and I said I was going for Oklahoma. That was the big game we watched, the Oklahoma-Michigan game.
Yeah, and I was on the other end of that, so that didn't go well for me. I had Michigan getting 5.5, so that was the one I lost.
Sorry about your luck on that one.
Yeah, well, thank you.
You should have listened to me.
I'm glad it went well for you. I hope you made a fortune.
It did.
I should have listened to you.
So the college football AP poll still has Ohio State at number 1. Looks like IU moved up a spot to 22.
Okay, let's take a break. I have a question for you. A local government official who we've talked about quite a bit on this show.
Yeah.
There's a public document about him, and I have a question on how we in the media should handle when one of these documents comes to light.
All right. It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, her name is Irina Zarutska. So why won't the media notice her? That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC. The kids are heading back to school, and let's be honest, you're finally getting the house to yourself again, which makes now the perfect time to take care of that roof, siding, or gutters you've been putting off. And Moss Roofing is here to help. Moss Roofing has been helping Central Indiana homeowners for 34 years. They're family-owned, locally rooted, and known for doing things right every single time. Free inspections, honest advice, and top-quality work on roofing, siding, gutters, and windows. They treat your home like it's their own, and they clean up like they were never there. That's why they've got great reviews and a loyal following of happy homeowners. So don't put it off any longer. Let Moss Roofing check your roof, your siding, and your gutters to make sure they're ready for the winter ahead. For your free inspection, call 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob for my friend Mark Deedle. You know, Zillow ranks Indianapolis #2 among 2025's hottest markets. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Hire the team with proven systems to maximize your equity. Sell your home with our guy, Mark Deedle. Perhaps you're worried with the challenging market you won't sell your home for the price it's worth. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Luke and Emma in Franklin had to say about working with Mark Deedle. We began building our new dream home, and we needed to sell our old place at a great price to pay for it. The Mark Deedle team made it easy with multiple offers in the first weekend and closed in 25 days at the price we wanted. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle at 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Hello, my name is Nate Clancy. I'm with Labor's Local 120. I've been with Labor's Local 120 for over 40 years now.
For members of Labor's International Union of North America, giving back is part of their commitment to the Indy community, like helping the Soapbox Derby.
We painted the bridge. The Wilbershaw Bridge is an iconic bridge for the Soapbox Derby. It's been there forever. It was, needing work.
When Indy or surrounding communities need help, LIUNA steps up.
Members that went over there, we seen that it was needing work, power washed, done the painting, just anything that was needed, and it looks amazing now.
This is Chris Brickey, business manager of Labor's Local 120. While all our members are skilled, highly trained men and women, we are also your friends, neighbors, Little League coaches, and volunteers here in Indy.
Here at the local, I like volunteering in the community. Just every little bit helps. I really got a real joy in doing that.
We build Indy for good jobs and stronger communities. We are LIUNA Local 120.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com. Most insurance accepted.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln & Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve, plus complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln & Fishers.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Duke Energy, we're making Indiana's energy grid stronger and more resilient, ready for storms and growing energy demands. We're adding more power to the Indiana grid. We're using new innovations and smart technology to restore outages faster. And we're doing it all in cost-efficient ways to keep bills as low as possible while we serve you with reliable energy. Duke Energy, building a smarter energy future. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned with the Zero Res Pro starting at just $129 and take $75 off the air duct cleaning too. Book online at ZeroResIndy.com.
Forget digging through clutter to find what matters. The WIBC Daily Newsletter puts the biggest local stories and exclusive show moments in your inbox and lets you skip the scroll. Sign up by clicking Connect at WIBC.com.
Okay, so a protective order was apparently filed against somebody we mentioned on this show a time or two, and I want to get to how we should cover that here in a moment. But first, you are just beside yourself. Like, you should have seen her during the break. I was like, Casey, you have to pull this together.
I know.
I'm embarrassed for you.
Yeah, I really have to calm down.
She was shrieking.
I know.
Throwing papers.
Right?
I may need a protective order.
Nearly hit you in the head. Yeah, sure.
Because there's some change with Amazon? You're being mildly inconvenienced by Amazon? What's going on?
Yeah. They're ending their Prime invitee program. So going forward, only people living in the same household can share Prime benefits under the Amazon Family program.
Uh-huh.
So the old program would allow friends and family at different addresses to share the shipping perks of Amazon Prime. But now they're only going to allow you to share it with one other adult in the same household, or up to 4 teens or 4 children.
Okay, you're speaking hieroglyphics there, so because I don't know how the internet works.
Well,
so.
I know that you and Gabrielle, you have Amazon Prime. You do. I don't know if you're aware that you do, but
yeah,
you do.
she hits a button on the television. I can watch the football games on Thursday night on the Amazon Prime.
Right.
And then I know there's all these boxes that show up to our house that say Amazon on them.
Yeah, and she's getting free shipping on those because she's in.
Well, she's paying for it, right? I mean, they're not running soup kitchens over there. Mr. Bezos is doing quite well. I'm paying something for it, aren't I?
Yeah, you're paying a monthly fee for it. But it's probably less than if you didn't have it.
Oh, okay.
To pay the shipping costs of all of the items that she purchases.
So this is some special service that I pay for.
Right. It's really not going to affect you much until Livy learns how to shop online, which I know will be a long time.
Okay, so because all the things we order are going to come to my house.
Correct.
Right? We don't have people abroad or whatever.
Right. This is going to affect me.
Okay.
Because I've got my daughter on my Amazon Prime account.
And she doesn't live with you.
She doesn't live with us.
No, so you used to be able to send things to her in Baltimore from your account. Send it here.
Right. Or she could shop and just order something herself and have it shipped to her.
Why are they ending this? What's going on?
Well, they're saying that they want to invest heavily to expand their fast delivery to rural and small town America. And their goal is to cover 1,000 of the 4,000 targeted towns and areas by the end of the year. And to do that, they got to kick my daughter off our Amazon Prime account.
Oh, there are certain areas what Amazon won't deliver to? Is that
it
what
just takes them longer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought.
So what really they're trying to do is trying to get money from her and me.
Well, right.
To cover the cost of expanding.
Well, they're a for-profit company, Casey.
Yeah.
Again, they're not in it for you. They don't offer that Amazon Prime out of the goodness of their heart.
Sure.
So what they're basically saying is it's costing us too much to deliver to multiple people who are essentially mooching off the same account, and as such, we're not going to do that anymore. Now, will your daughter? Okay, so I guess she's got one of two options. Either she can get her own, which is their goal,
right?
Or it can always just get delivered to you, and then when you make the trips out to Baltimore, you just bring it with you.
Hand deliver. Yeah, you're right. I didn't think about that option. But
that's why I'm here. I'm an ideas person.
It's $14.99 or you could pay $139 a year for this.
Uh-huh.
But if you're going to do this, you have to sign up by October 1st.
October. Okay. Well, I guess I'm already signed up for it, so I don't. This
You're
won't
set.
affect me.
You're good.
Okay. Well, there was some other thing you were desperate to talk about. I just totally. Here's how it goes.
Update on the Powerball.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Just so for those of you who don't know, during the break, Casey will give me a litany of options. I just go and then I'll look at it right before we start the segment and go, "What are we doing?"
Right.
So that's how it works. This was it was the Powerball. Yes, that's right. You told me you want to talk
That's
about
how
the
it
Powerball.
worked this time anyway. Yeah. 2 tickets were sold, winning that $1.7 billion jackpot. Second largest jackpot in Powerball history. The winners are going to split the prize. Their identities are unknown. However, we do know that 1 ticket was sold in Missouri and 1 ticket was sold in Texas.
So it's not either one of us or
Not
Kevin.
us.
All right.
No.
So we will be here because you said if you won the Powerball, you were out. You would leave.
And you said if you won, you would buy
I'd buy
WIBC.
Yeah.
And that's not happening. I'm sorry. We're not making all of your wildest dreams come true this morning.
Yeah, but don't give up. It'll get. Of course, you have to play to win, and I don't.
You didn't play.
I don't play.
You're going to get rich off your gambling, your sports betting.
$3 at a time. It's really building up, Casey. Okay, so they split 1.7 billion. So just doing some quick public school math, that's what, roughly 850 each, 850 million. So after applicable taxes, you said where were the people located at?
Missouri and Texas.
Okay, so I know Texas didn't. Let's just say they lost 40% of that to taxes. Now Texas would be less than Missouri, but just on average, let's say they lost 40%. What is that? That's 80, 160, 240, 320. See the public school math I'm doing on my head here. So minus 320. So if they took, well, the lump sum's going to be less than that.
Yeah.
Let's just say they brought home $300 million after taxes. So that nice round number. You could do some real damage with $300 million.
Sure, you could still have a whole lot of fun. This is interesting that different states have different rules. In Missouri, any lottery winner can remain anonymous.
Oh.
But in Texas, you have to win over $1 million to remain anonymous.
Oh, that's right. I saw this. Yes. If they have a number. Now in Indiana, do we know in Indiana, do you have to come out? Do you have to reveal your identity?
I don't know.
Huh. All right. When we come back, we got to have a discussion about how we in the media handle protective orders.
Okay.
Because I've had to learn a lot about this because there was a protective order filed against someone that we have covered multiple times on this show. And I have a real question on how we should cover this based on the things I'm learning about protective orders.
It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
If you suffer from burning, tingling, or numbness, pay special attention as we discuss neuropathy with Dr. Matt Scholke, chiropractic neurologist and board certified in neuropathy. What is neuropathy?
Neuropathy is nerve damage in the feet or hands.
What are the symptoms?
The symptoms are numbness, burning, tingling, pain, and loss of balance.
Is neuropathy treatable?
Absolutely, and we get amazing results.
If you have burning, tingling, numbness, pain, or balance issues, call Dr. Scholke today for a free nerve damage screening. This screening will tell if you're at risk for serious complications and if you're a candidate for their specialized treatment program. Don't wait until your symptoms are so severe nothing can be done. End-stage neuropathy leaves people confined to walkers, wheelchairs, even amputations. The first 10 callers will receive a free nerve damage screening. Simply call 463-400-3338. Act now. Call 463-400-3338 for your free nerve damage screening. 463-400-3338.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion? That's billion with a B? Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back at the racing capital of the world. This sports car racing event, September 19th through 21st, is different than anything you've seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunday the 21st, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. And now the race race runs 6 hours. The paddock is open for fans all weekend long. Infield camping opportunities make this a can't-miss weekend. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. Get your tickets at IMS.com.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Well, who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 Accord SE for $329 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake. Visit our showroom off State Road 37 today. Tax and title fees not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends September 30th. See dealer for details.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at
B-Window,
we mean business.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, what's kept IMPD busy this morning in Indianapolis, why protesters were in Greenwood over the weekend and what they would like, and when the Trans-Siberian Orchestra is coming to Indianapolis. Those stories and much more coming up after Fox News Radio. You are listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis, and it's 11 o'clock.
President Trump is taking another case to the Supreme Court. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Days after asking the justices to uphold tariffs that lower courts called illegal, the Trump administration asked the court this morning to issue an emergency order to keep nearly $5 billion in foreign aid frozen.
A lower court judge ruled last week that withholding the funding approved by Congress was likely illegal. President Trump used what's known as a pocket rescission to block the funding. Judge Amir Ali ruled the law requires congressional action, not just notification by the president to trigger the rescission. Nonprofit groups sued the government over the funding freeze.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House, but the president isn't there now. He's across town at the Museum of the Bible.
Under the Trump administration, we're defending our rights and restoring our identity as a nation under God. We are one nation under God, and we always will.
Addressing the Religious Liberty Commission he created, saying the woke agenda is practically gone. In a federal courtroom in Florida, jury selection started this morning to put Ryan Ruth on trial in the second Trump assassination attempt thwarted last September. Ruth was arrested holding a rifle outside the President's Country Club in West Palm Beach, where the then candidate was golfing. In Israel this morning, an attack at a Jerusalem bus stop.
When 2 gunmen, Palestinian terrorists, boarded the bus and sprayed it with bullets using a submachine gun. 5 men and a woman were killed, including 3 rabbis. The 2 suspects were killed as well by nearby armed men, including 1 off-duty soldier. Attention shifted to the nearby West Bank, where the gunmen came from, as troops were dispatched looking for any additional suspects. Checkpoints set up, areas sealed off, safe houses raided. 1 person arrested so far.
Fox's Greg Palcott in Tel Aviv. Israel's taken out another high-rise building and ramping up the war in Gaza. And the president on Truth Social posted that Hamas has to agree to a ceasefire deal that Israel's already accepted. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
They heard about an injured boy and rushed to the scene. Skies are sunny and it's 62 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm John Herrick. This report is brought to you by Gutter Helmet. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Shots were fired early this morning in a northeast Indianapolis neighborhood. Ryan Hedrick reports.
And it was a young boy that was hit.
The juvenile male stated that he was standing out on the steps in front of the apartment when all of a sudden a person in all black came up and started shooting at him for no reason. That was the only description that he was able to give us.
That's IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer. He says the boy is recovering. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A group of protesters gathered outside of U.S. Representative Jefferson Shreve's office in Greenwood over the weekend. They were protesting the federal government's plan to house ICE detainees at Camp Atterbury, which is in Shreve's district in Johnson County. The protesters want the money to be used to combat homelessness and deal with the housing crisis instead. Lots of sunshine this week across Indiana. What about rain possibilities?
None at all, actually. We have not much in the way of precipitation chances. We have less than 10% precip chances currently in the forecast through the entire 7 days, it looks like.
Matt Eckhoff with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says high temperatures will climb into the 80s by midweek. The Trans-Siberian Orchestra has a tour this year called the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. They're known for their blend of rock and classical music, dazzling pyrotechnics and storytelling. They will perform hits and fan favorites, including a 25th anniversary salute to Beethoven's Last Night. You can check them out at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis this upcoming December 4th, and tickets go on sale this Friday. The Indianapolis Colts paid tribute to former owner Jim Irsay during Sunday's season opener against the Miami Dolphins by adding him to the team's Ring of Honor, and honoring Irsay was former Colts quarterback Peyton Manning.
He did everything he could to make sure we were worthy of your cheers. But even at your very best, it was never just you, the fans, behind us. It was Jim. He didn't just own the Colts. He bound us all together.
That's Manning speaking at Sunday's ceremony at Lucas Oil Stadium, and not long after the Colts routed Miami, signs were put out that said, "One for Jim." I'm John Herrick, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? You know, if the holes are too big, debris gets in, and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off, restrictions apply, and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, or GutterHelmetIndy.com, and never clean your gutters again.
Football is back, and so are great hairlines. We Grow Hair Indy has helped former local professional football players get back in the game with full natural hair. You don't have to play pro ball to get pro-level results. Whether you're tailgating, coaching, or watching from the couch, do it with confidence. Trade the sidelines for a hairline. Get back in the game with We Grow Hair Indy. Schedule your free evaluation today at WeGrowHairIndy.com or call 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995.
This hour is powered by Miss M's Home and Garden, Johnson County's Fall Nursery headquarters.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Now that's the conversation we should be having on this program.
I know. Maybe we'll get to that later.
But hey, speaking of screwing people over, let's turn our attention back to state government.
So Indiana Governor Mike Braun, he announced that Jennifer Ruth Green is stepping down as Secretary of Public Safety. It's really his first big cabinet shakeup, isn't it?
But he didn't say why.
No, he did not.
Okay, so Jennifer Ruth Green is a failed congressional candidate. You know us, Case. We don't sugarcoat it. We just tell you what's going on. That's why the people love us. She's a failed congressional candidate. No problem. People run all the time. They lose. My issue with the government is our government, and it seems like at all levels, is just littered with people who fail upwards. Like you ran for public office. You had your opportunity to be judged by the voters. They said, thank you, but no thank you. What happened? She got a $275,000 job in the plus benefits in the Braun administration. And here 8 months later, you go from failed congressional candidate to $275,000 cushy job in the Braun administration, and then you just quit with no reason given? Not like I'm taking a job over here. It's not like my life's calling to be on the Food Network has come true. Like nothing. And then she tried to get squirrely. And this is when people, and this is why people love us, because we
trying to
see
put a
through
good
the
face on
right.
it.
She posts this photo of herself like in a military, what appears to be a military garb of some sort. And what she say, something like, time to report or time for service.
Yeah, she said Secretary Scott, who is going to be her replacement, will do an amazing job in the position, and I look forward to watching his successes. I'm off to military duty. Always a privilege to wear the uniform, and I'm excited for the future.
Okay, so you're not giving Norris Braun any reason.
I got to tell you the hashtag, by the way. Hashtag battle-proven leadership.
Oh.
Okay.
So you're not giving any reason why you're quitting. Braun's not giving any reason why you're quitting. And you're posting a photo of yourself in a military garb saying you're going to service. I don't think it would be a stretch to say that they, whatever, wouldn't be disappointed if people thought those two things were in coordination with each other, that the military service was somehow tied to the quitting. Am I wrong on that? Like that they would not, that's just a big coincidence there, right? However, the Capitol Chronicle said, not so fast. The military service Green referenced is not a deployment, but routine National Guard duty expected to last only a week or two.
Yeah.
So we now throw out of the equation that like Jim Banks did when he was a senator and legitimately was called up. I believe Afghanistan was where he had to go. He did resign his position as a senator. His wife took the office. It was made very clear. I'm going because my country is calling me. I'm doing this out of obligation. Thank you. I'll see you when I get back. This is not that. What person gives up a cushy $275,000 job with a ton of power plus benefits after only being there for 8 months and there's no reason given about where you're going or why?
What's your phrase? Maybe it was all the up she could stand?
No, I don't think if you're making $275,000, I think there was probably a lot more up which she could have taken. You can't even fathom the amount of up I'd be able to deal with for $275,000. Okay. So I was told by a very reliable source.
Oh boy.
Someone that I really trust. And look, eventually people will figure out in that state house, we have the birdies chirp chirp everywhere. And there's lots of people who just quietly sit at their desks and do their jobs and push their papers, and they loathe the people that they have to work for and under. This is why we get all this information. So I was told by a very reliable source that allegedly there was potentially an ethics investigation of some sort going on into that office. And allegedly, Jennifer Ruth Green didn't enter work Friday morning knowing that she would no longer be working come Friday evening.
Okay, so she had no idea this was coming.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Pretty good source. This person's been right on a lot of stuff before. But when you're quitting a $275,000 job with no explanation whatsoever, and I don't buy for a second that what they're trying to, she's going to run for Congress.
Right.
You can run for Congress whenever you want. You know when you quit that job? When you make the announcement and you start fundraising and you start going out. She wasn't doing that. She's clearly going to military duty. It clearly wasn't that she was going to be deployed long term if she was going to be running for Congress. Something doesn't smell right about all this, Casey. And here on the Kendall and Casey show, we're not just going to clap like seals and go, oh, thank you so much, if something doesn't smell right to us.
In the interim, you've got the Indiana State Police Superintendent, Anthony Scott, who will take on an expanded role as the Secretary of Public Safety. So he's going to do both.
So let's talk about Anthony Scott for a second, shall we? Let's talk again about how this just always conveniently works out. So Anthony Scott was named the State Police Superintendent at the first of the year when Braun became the governor.
This was after Doug Carter resigned.
That's correct.
Retired.
Friend of the show, Doug Carter, yes. And at the time Anthony Scott became the state police superintendent, Tom Kleinhelter, Mike Braun's close political ally and the Du Bois County Sheriff, was facing a special prosecutor and a probable cause, 80-page probable cause affidavit put together by the state police under Doug Carter and a guy by the name of Jeff Heron, a 30-plus year decorated member of the Indiana State Police. And that was related to allegations that Kleinhelter misused commissary money, amongst other things, to pay for plane tickets for his wife to go on trips with him. And there was an 80-page probable cause affidavit put together by state police, which was instigated, by the way, on an investigation by State Board of Accounts. And Carter's been on the show, Doug Carter, former state police superintendent, been on our show, felt it was an ironclad case, felt great about it, had heard no objections from the special prosecutor at the time. And then Anthony Scott becomes state police superintendent. And keep in mind, the guy under investigation is a close political ally of Governor Braun, Tom Kleinhelter. And all of a sudden, despite the 80-page probable cause affidavit, no charges against Kleinhelter are filed, and
Heron, the detective, the decorated 30-plus year member of law enforcement, is reprimanded and punished with his position in the state police. And wouldn't you know, Case, just a short time later, now Anthony Scott not only is the state police superintendent, he also has this
cabinet position,
cabinet-level position, making $275,000. I assume he'll be making the same as she was, equal pay for equal work. That just worked out well for everyone. So Kleinhelter goes scot-free. The guy who did the investigation, he gets demoted, and Anthony Scott ends up in the cabinet. That's amazing how that all worked out, isn't it, Case?
Governor Braun praised Scott. He said Hoosiers will be safe with him setting the tone for all public safety agencies. So now he's going to juggle overseeing the entire state's public safety. So he's going to lead the state police and have this cabinet-level position as Secretary of Public Safety. How long will he do both? Which is the better job?
Well, this is the question that needs to be answered and has not been answered. Is he now getting paid to do both? Because that potentially could open up a whole bunch of worms on what's allowed and what's not with that. Now, is he just volunteering in one of these positions? Is he getting paid for just one of these positions, or is he getting paid both? And there was nothing in any of these press releases that I saw that answered whether that was the case. And how could you do both effectively?
Yeah. Is this a double dip?
Well,
you dipped, you took a bite, and then you dipped again.
Yeah, this needs to be clarified. How this guy's getting paid now, what he's getting paid for, because none of that got explained. But it's look, worked out great for Kleinhelter, worked out great for Braun, worked out great for Anthony Scott. You know who didn't work out for? Jeff Heron.
Yeah,
because he doesn't get his position back, and his name's getting run through the mud, and that stinks. All right. When we come back, Casey, I'm going to need you as a veteran broadcaster, member of the media, to work through how we should handle coverage of an event involving someone that we have talked about multiple times on this program.
Okay. It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
It's Terry Stacy, a customer of Premier Deck Coating, and they've changed our life when it comes to saving us time and money, preparing and protecting our deck year after year. Premier Deck Coating is the ultimate deck protection, sister company of Rhino Shield, locally owned. Right now, we've got black walnuts that fall from the trees that normally used to stain the deck, but no more now that we have Premier Deck Coating. It has completely transformed our deck with their special formulated product, and it's backed by a 10-year warranty. They came in, they sanded all the walking surfaces, they repaired the damaged boards, and then they applied their Protect Deck and Railing coating, and that repels mold and moisture, and it resists scratches, and it keeps our deck looking great for years to come. They can also do fences and pergolas, too. And listen to this. Right now, they're able to offer affordable monthly payments with 0% interest loans and no payments until next year to qualified customers. Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. We love what they were able to do for us. For a free quote, visit premierdeckcoating.com.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah. Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250, Micro.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
story.
I'm Dwight Freeney, and my friend Eli is alive today thanks to someone who said yes to organ donation. When Eli was just 12 years old, he received a liver transplant that saved his life because someone just like you said yes to being an organ donor. His story and many others like his are why I have teamed up with Indiana Donor Network and Donate Life Indiana to help end the wait for life-saving organs. You can help. Say yes to being an organ donor next time you are at the BMV.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at
B-Window, we mean business.
All right, I need your help on how we should cover this. Because I want to do this fair and I want to do this right, and it's something we haven't really gotten into. But I think it's one of the things we do about our shows. We delve into a whole bunch of things that no other show, no other people are going to, and I think people like our program because, one, we're different, but we also cover things that don't often get covered, and we talk about things in ways that don't often get talked about. And I have spent the past 2 or 3 days learning a lot about, or trying to learn a lot about protective orders and how they work in the state of Indiana. So it came to my attention, and so I want to work through this and see if we're doing this the right way and what obligation we have to tell the public and how we should tell them, because I'm really torn on this. The more I learn about how how the protective order process works in the state of Indiana. All right, so it came to my attention that we refer to him as Lord Travis, high ruler of the town of Brownsburg. His real name his God-given name is Travis Tashane, the president of the Brownsburg Town Council. Now, he is the guy who infamously got me removed from the council meeting,
right?
Because I asked, the audacity to ask how an item gets on the agenda for the agenda meeting, or the meetings that I'm paying for, and the cop was like, "What happened here?" And then when I told him what happened,
he said, "Get up there and
he,
say."
Well,
what
he didn't
you
believe
want.
me at first, and then the chief of police came out and was like, "Yeah, that's what happened." And then they were like, "Oh yeah, go back in there and ask it again."
Right.
Anyway, which is neither here nor there. But Travis Tashane is his name. It came to my attention that there was a protective order filed against him on, it appears to be August the 5th of this year. And it says that it appears that respondents successfully served on August the 6th. Now, what I have learned about Indiana and the protective orders is that this is just the filed is just the opening salvo in this. And that basically anybody can, in my understanding, can file for a protective order against anybody else. And I'm trying to put this together as best I can with the law enforcement I talk to, et cetera. It's very complicated. And even the people in law enforcement I talk to are like, yes, this is very complicated. That anybody can file for a protective order against anybody else, and it still has to go in front of a judge in order to whether the protective order would be granted, which is my understanding looking at this. And by the way, this is all available on public record. You can search protective orders in the Indiana court system. It's not anything that I got that was by, nefarious means or whatever. Somebody looked it up, saw it, sent it to me. I did my best to confirmed it was real, and we went from there. I, by the way, did reach out to Travis Tashane, president of Brownsburg Town Council, yesterday, said, would you like to offer a comment, clarification, let us know what you want us to tell the public about this, because I knew we were going to talk about it. He did not respond to me. So we did our best to try to get information, and he didn't offer anything, which is fine. That's his right. However, that then leaves us in the dark because we don't know who filed this.
Right.
We don't know why, and we don't know any of the background on it. We don't know, is it going to be fought? Is it going to be objected to? We don't know any of this. So my question to you is, Casey, it's a public document.
Correct.
He's a public figure. He's running a town of 30,000-ish people. We have an obligation, and I asked this on social media over the weekend before I released who it was, and I said, does the public have a right to know about this? Because it does sort of feel like you haven't had a chance to face your accuser yet. We don't even know who the accuser was, yet this document is in there. But does the public have the right to know because he's an office holder And the people overwhelmingly, without knowing who it was, said, yes, we should have the right to know if one of our community leaders is facing this. But I struggle with this because I don't have any facts of the case itself other than this document.
Correct. Okay, so at this point, there are steps that need to go through, right? You got to file the petition, and then it gets before a judge. There's possibly a full hearing, and then the judge decides whether to issue a final order and conditions. At this point in the process, all we are aware of is that a petition has been filed.
I was also told, again, by these people who are trying to help me work through this, and we're simplifying, like I spent quite a bit of time trying to figure all this out, that if a petition is deemed ridiculous, like, because you have to provide information, et cetera, when you're filling this form out. That's my understanding. Now, I could be wrong on this. Again, this is just the information that I was given trying to talk with people in law enforcement about this. That if it's deemed completely ridiculous, a judge can slap it down before it ever
gets to a hearing.
And by the way, if you go on the state website, you can see, it appears here, which, like, names, cases, whatever, whether they were approved or not. Like, there's a little circle with an X or what looks like a clock on them, and I believe that's approved, and then the one that not approved, et cetera. You can look all this stuff up for yourself. So that's what I struggled with is I'm not in any way insinuating something did or did not happen. I don't even know who's filing it for what. But it was like, this is a leader of a community. Not just that the guy's a public figure. He's a leader of the community. Should we talk about this? Does the public have the right to know, given how little information we actually have available to us right now?
Well, I think the public does have a right to know, and that's why it's on public.courts.in.gov. You can research this for yourself. However, at this point, I don't think it would serve Hoosiers well.
Hey, you went with the old Holcomb phrase.
Yeah, to speculate anymore.
Yeah. Okay, so we handled this perfectly.
Because this is the information. It's out there. But as you mentioned, a judge could say, no, this is nonsense, or it could be a real thing. You also have to keep in mind, if there is a victim, you want to protect that person and their identity. So at this point, you've done all you can do.
Yeah, and I don't think it's any secret. We're not, like, going to hide this. I can't stand the guy. Like, and I think the feeling's mutual. But what I don't want is if somebody's wrongfully accused of something.
Correct.
No matter whatever my personal feelings are, and certainly our job here with this radio station, to let that in any way influence what we should be doing, what the public has the right to know, doesn't have the right to know, et cetera. So you're telling me we handled this well?
I think so, yeah. At this point, you can't speculate anymore. You shouldn't say anything more about it because there's nothing more to say, and you're just going to get yourself in trouble.
Very good. And I want to stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
I want you to stay out of trouble.
I want to stay out of trouble as well.
And Kevin. And most importantly, sweet Kevin.
Part of my whole job here. Keep us out of trouble.
Out of trouble. Yes, thank you.
So there it is. You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
My name's Craig Landers. I'm a union laborer for Local 120, and I'm a member of the Veterans Steering Committee and been retired for 7 years.
For members of the Laborers International Union of North America, giving back is part of their commitment to the Indy community.
I like to help veterans and family downtown. Part of the building burnt down that housed the veterans that lived there. So we donated money to help out. They lost everything they had. I mean, they didn't have much, but they lost what they did have.
When the Indy community needs help, LiUNA steps up.
People bring in clothes and shoes and food. We had a couple car shows and donated the proceeds to the Veteran Suicide Prevention.
This is Chris Brickey, Business Manager of Labor's Local 120. While all our members are skilled, highly trained men and women, we are also your friends, neighbors, Little League coaches, and volunteers here in Indy.
Pretty good to help them guys out. That's a good feeling to help people out.
We build Indy for good jobs and stronger communities. We are LiUNA Local 120.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. You know, fall is the perfect season to tackle those home improvement projects before the weather turns cold. And if your windows are old, drafty, or just plain insufficient, now is the time to finally do something about it, because Universal Windows Direct has an incredible September offer. Listen to this. First of all, for every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free. There's no limit. Whether you need 4 or 14, you're only paying for half. And to make it even easier, you'll get 0% financing for 3 years. So no interest, no pressure. And Here's a bonus you'll love. $500 off your entire home improvement project. So let's review. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, 0% financing for 3 years, and $500 off your entire home improvement project. Now, some restrictions may apply. So to get all the details and schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today, 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Or check them out on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Don Fisher for QC Kinetics. I was struggling with chronic knee pain and wasn't encouraged with the options of risky surgery and pain pills. QC Kinetics offered the best option for me, cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Their non-invasive treatment stimulated my body's own biologics so I could be pain-free and get back to doing what I love, playing golf. QC Kinetics has a fantastic success rate, and it's clear to see why so many Hoosiers are happy to tell their story of how they reclaim their lives with the QC Kinetics approach. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. QC Kinetics uses the latest technologies, whether it's stem cell, PRP, plasma, or a number of other advanced therapies. Call QC Kinetics. It'll be the best call you will make. Get back in the game, whatever that is for you. Call 317-559-PAIN.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The president takes the L here. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 11:30. President Trump has lost a bid to overturn a verdict that ordered him to pay more than $83 million for defaming writer E. Jean Carroll. In today's ruling, the judges found that Trump failed to identify any grounds that would warrant reconsidering the prior holding on presidential immunity. A chemical fire at a manufacturing plant in Warwick County, which is in southern Indiana, happened over the weekend, but it's now contained.
During the incident, water runoff was detected entering the Van Road Park Lake. Currently, analysis being conducted on the water in the lake to determine the environmental impact. We know there is a high possibility of fish die off in the lake.
County Emergency Director Matthew Gable says they found combustible metals like magnesium, aluminum, and zinc. The structure itself, though, was not damaged. On the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while. Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
Fall is in full swing at Sundown Gardens. Locally grown mums and pumpkins plus fall annuals and decor. 186th Street, Spring Mill Road in Westfield. It's sundown.gardens.com. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned with the Zero Res Pro starting at just $129 and take $75 off the air duct cleaning too. Book online at zeroresindy.com.
Turn to talk, isn't it? Sorry, I was reading the paper.
Anything good?
Did nobody say that?
Would you like to share with the class?
No. I was just. Does anybody even say reading the paper anymore? Like, is that even a thing?
Maybe on the internet. Reading an article. Yeah, no, not a full paper.
Like, what are you doing? I'm reading the paper. If I'm reading the paper online, am I reading the paper?
Yeah, you are.
Well, there was this article.
But I don't think you'd say you're reading the paper.
Article. Google data center critics get facts wrong. We need experts in the debate.
Mm-hmm.
Non-elected officials are needed to make hard decisions to ensure their communities can continue to run, even if those decisions are unpopular. And I just, I found this I have not had a chance to read the whole thing yet, so I just you asked me what I was doing. That's what I was doing. I was in the throes of my brain
Just
processed things very quick, but I didn't make it all. I didn't make it all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
I find that interesting though, where yes, hard choices are needed, absolutely, and I'll have to read this whole thing and then we'll do a dive on it tomorrow, but. If everyone hates something and everybody thinks it's going to be negative for them, isn't your first job to listen to your constituency? If it's Google v. citizens, Google, what's going on in Franklin Township, Google doesn't care about the land or the people.
No. Google cares about Google.
Right.
Yeah.
And if the people, be they right or be they wrong, are overwhelmingly against something, and you can't, think about all the conversations we've had about data centers. Who are these politicians that are publicly espousing this is why it's so great? You can't, it's hard to tell people when the data centers that are proposed are being backed up by a shadow quasi-government entity that you can't get information on. Oh, look at how great this is. Well, how do we know? You can't get any information.
Right. Just be transparent about it.
And it's sort of the conversation we had earlier with Carrie Hamilton that you and I've talked about. I understand it's a large building and that it'll pay some property tax, maybe eventually once all the abatements run out. But other than that, what's it do? And none of these politicians are sprinting, whether it be Hogsett or these county commissioners or whoever, to tell us why they're so great. And if it was so obvious, wouldn't they be willing to do that?
Yeah. Sucking up a lot of resources. That's one thing that we know it will do. And how interesting is it, just in such a short amount of time, Governor Braun has said, we've got to do something about these utility rates. But then in his first session as governor, approved the hike in your rate increase.
Yeah, and this is why people are fed up, is the hypocrisy and the dishonesty. It's not even the stuff. It's that they feel like in your personal life, you may do things your husband likes or doesn't like, right? You may do things your daughter likes or doesn't like. She's an adult now, so it doesn't really matter. But your job in any disagreement, you got to have an honest conversation about what's going on, right? Like I did A, B, and C. Here's why I did it. And then we can, operate in a productive conversation off of that. And I've told you my new theory on life that I had adopted. Your husband thought this was brilliant, is what do I want my life to be 30 minutes from now? That's my new thing in every conversation that I have with someone that I, love and care about, is what do I want my life to look like 30 minutes from now? Which usually just results in with my wife, you're right. But my point is, what sort of relationship do we have with our government when we know we're clearly being lied to and deceived? And how can we have any relationship with our government that isn't, in all cases, adversarial when we keep catching these people in, at best, blatant hypocrisy and at worst, just outright lying?
Yeah. It's very frustrating that they feel like we can't handle it. It makes it so much worse.
Is it they think we can't handle it, or is it they know we're going to hate what the truth is so much? Is the truth so bad? Braun signed that bill. This is why, we have fun with, we call him Governor Dementia Patient, because there's only two logical things going on when we catch him doing things that are in direct, or saying things that are in direct contrast with actions, or doing things that are in direct contrast with words. Either the guy's a habitual liar, or he suffered some cognitive decline where he doesn't remember what he says from one day to the next. And the SMRs, the energy legislation he signed, is the perfect example, as Democrat State Rep Carrie Hamilton pointed out with us early in the show. You signed a thing that everybody was telling you will raise utility rates. Okay? Now, you did it for a technology that's totally unproven, and it's going to be years, if not decades, before it actually pays off, if ever. But you did it, right? So you got to tell us why you did it. But then you don't get to come out and go, I'm very concerned about the rising, utility rates when you just did the thing that's going to make them go up, and everybody was telling you it was going to make them go up.
Right. I think the trickle of truth is so much worse. The little drip, drip, drip.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Epstein case.
Yeah.
And how much time and money and effort has been spent into that. Just tell us the truth and tell us now. As a whole, get it out there.
Yeah.
And then you can figure out what you want to do with that information.
People will think far greater of you if you're honest with them, even if they disagree with you.
Correct.
As it relates to, especially to public policy. Like, here's what I did, here's why I did it, and here's what we hope the end result will be out of it. But when you start manipulating the facts of the case, you start acting like things that are happening aren't happening. You can't say I'm very concerned about data centers, and then the first actions of your new IEDC board, Mr. Governor, are to approve mass incentives for 4 new data centers.
Yeah, because it blows everything else going forward.
You don't get to do that. And people are going to be outraged, not only that you're doing the thing, but as they wise up to it, that they feel like you're lying to them. There is no trust. With Mike Braun, there is no trust. It's the same thing with Diego Morales. Everybody knows somebody you don't want us to know paid for that trip to India, Diego. Everybody knows you're not protecting some well-meaning local merchant. Everybody knows you're not hiding some guy because you're worried he's going to get protested. You're hiding the identity of who paid for India because you know the public will be outraged when they find out who it actually was. Nobody believes you paid the money back because if you did, you had every opportunity. We gave it to you to look like a hero and make us look so stupid, to show you paid the money back with the proof, with the receipts. All we asked for was receipts and the proof the check was deposited. So now everybody looks at you and they see you as a dirty, rotten, dishonest liar. You don't reclaim that trust now because you've kept the lie up. And you screaming about fake WIBC or fake Indy Star or whatever. People just look at you and go, you're nuts and you're a liar. And so I'm going to really do a deep dive on this. I'm going to do a deep dive on this article and see what this person has to say. I'm fascinated what they're going to tell me the benefits of the data centers are and why these people are doing the right thing. They're trying to ram them through.
So Ron DeSantis, governor of Florida, he came out and he is asking for the complete abolition of property taxes.
Yeah.
Not just in Florida, but across the country.
From the property tax situation. It's very important given how that's pinched so many homeowners, particularly our senior citizens who have their homes paid off and they bought it 30 years ago for a certain amount. Now they're being told it's worth so much more and they have to pony up more and more money. It's almost like they have to pay rent to the government just to be able to enjoy their property. And that's wrong. And we need to do something about it.
So Florida is working on something, though. They broke a record, a tourism record, 34.4 million visitors in the second quarter of this past year. And they want to use that tourism money to offset their property taxes.
Yeah, and the problem is a state like Indiana, the only answer to it is to cut back spending. And they're not going to do that because in the state of Indiana, your lawmakers are petrified of the public education system. They are. It's the only logical answer. And they have basically said to the public education system, you can have whatever you want. You want 2 football fields in Brownsburg? Great. You want 4 large field house gymnasium things? Fine, you can have it. You want to build a road in people's backyards? Fine, you can have it. You know, whatever your favorite school system is, wherever you live, you're going to see something similar if you're in central Indiana. They've just given a blank check because they're petrified of teachers, the angry redshirted teachers. They're petrified that people aren't going to be informed enough to see through the bullcrap. And they just dare you to do anything about it. We put 1,000 people in the State House. They're like, yeah, we got to go to, was it Braves or Houston? Who had the birthday party? One of them had a birthday party and then a mariachi band. Yeah, that's nice. We got to go to the mariachi band. They don't fear you. I mean, that's the long and short of it. So Florida, yeah, they can do this. The reality is Indiana, you're going to have to cut spending. You're going to have to hold people accountable. And they're not willing to do it. They're not willing to do it. And until they are, it'll never change. And they view you as nothing more than shut up and pay. Hammer is going to join us next to wrap up our program.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on the Hammer and Nigel show, a complete recap of that first Colts game, plus August job reports were kind of a nightmare. 3 o'clock, 93 WIBC.
Hey, it's Matt Bear. You've probably heard Dr. Nick Wilson on WIBC weekends. But what you may not know is that I've been going to Restructured Chiropractic for years. They've helped me tremendously. If you're waking up with the same nagging neck or back pain every day, even after stretching, icing, or trying to push through, it's time for a better plan. Dr. Wilson is now offering you a chance to sit down with his doctors for a full spine and nervous system assessment. You'll get a complete consultation, exam, posture and nerve scans, any needed x-rays, a full status report, and most importantly, a personalized natural health plan for recovery. It's normally over $250, but right now you can get the whole package for just $88. Stop managing the pain, start fixing the real problem. Text relief to 317-749-0677 to claim it. 317-749-0677. Check out more at berestructured.com.
Hey guys, September the 18th. What is that? That's a week from Thursday. Massive event going on at Lucas Estates. Let's face it, most of us never get invited to Lucas Estates. Casey might, but the rest of us, no chance. This is your chance to go to Lucas Estates, and on top of that, you get a free breakfast. Yeah, life-changing event, and you can help a great cause. Our friends at Life Church are partnering with Project Rescue. You know, we love Project Rescue. They help fight human sex trafficking across the globe. And September 18th, that is a week from Thursday, is their Hope Starts Here breakfast, where you can hear amazing stories about how Life Church and Project Rescue work together to stand about human sex trafficking. And if you feel compelled, get involved. It's totally free. Breakfast included. All you got to do is go to lifechurchin.com, lifechurchin.com to register.
I'm Dwight Freeney, and my friend Eli is alive today thanks to someone who said yes to organ donation. When Eli was just 12 years old, he received a liver transplant that saved his life because someone just like you said yes to being an organ donor. His story and many others like his are why I have teamed up with Indiana Donor Network and Donate Life Indiana to help end the wait for life-saving organs. You can help. Say yes to being an organ donor next time you are at the BMV.
Why do so many basement companies want half the money up front? Could it be because it's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they don't ask for a deposit until the job is done and you're completely satisfied. They even start with a free inspection to ensure you know exactly what your home needs without the guesswork. With over 35 years experience, they've proven that trust is built on results, not deposits. Michaelis, building trust beneath your feet. Visit michaeliscorp.com.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swanco 317-407-1868 or swancollc.com.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $300 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spread, totals, player props.
$300 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Indiana. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All-American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln & Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve, plus complimentary pickup and delivery for service. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln & Fishers.
Snapped a great photo? Witnessed something newsworthy?
Hey, there's some news.
You can text it right to the WIBC newsroom. Join the text club. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393.
I'd take 40,000 Haitians every day if it meant I got one Jason Hammer.
Hey now. Was it the Haitians that were, quote, eating the dogs, eating the cats? Was that the Haitians in Ohio?
It was in Springfield.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that that's what we're talking about here.
You ever deleted a tweet, like, not because you had a bad grammar or I tagged the wrong person or whatever? You ever deleted a tweet over public pressure?
No. I like you, I have deleted grammar because the grammar people are worse than the public pressure people.
Well, but you catch it right away. You're like, or you tagged the wrong person or whatever.
Right.
Oh, sorry about that.
Go back to the grammar people for just a second, though. Like, the grammar people will literally send us a message. I listen to your show every day, and I agree with you, but you put that apostrophe in the wrong place, and now I'm done. Like, the most over-the-top, ridiculous, like, there's no room for grammar on the internet.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay? Especially when you're trying to squeeze in something in, 140 characters or whatever it is. Yeah, there may be some misspellings. There might not be an apostrophe. And when I speak, sure, a little Beech Grove might come out from time to time. A little Brownsburg might come out from time to time. It's not the end of the world, grammar people.
There are some people on social media who will intentionally misspell to get engagement. Just for the grammar police.
My favorite, and one of my favorite accounts, and I think we've talked about this, is 4-Year Letterman.
Yes.
Is it 3 or 4?
3-Year Letterman.
3-Year Letterman on
Isn't that right?
Twitter. And he will intentionally say something factually incorrect and tag somebody in it just to watch the corrections come in.
Just to see
Yeah,
what's coming.
3-year, yeah. And these people, they engage in real fights with this guy who is clearly just like he's just making absurd stuff up.
Right.
And they're fighting back with him about his lack of factual knowledge.
Like when Kamala Harris was appointed as the nominee for the Democrats. I think my favorite one was, I believe it's against the Constitution for a woman to run for president. And like all the comments coming in, like and elected officials. I think like Matt Gaetz got involved.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, stop it. It's a troll account. What are you doing?
Right.
You and I did a fine job yesterday in the National Football League when it came to throwing a few shekels on various teams and plays.
Hey, I needed that because my college day was crap. So I needed the NFL day, and both of us rocked a heater yesterday. It started on Thursday night where I had the Cowboys plus 8.5.
Thank you.
And then I had the Bills plus 1.5. And how about that comeback last night?
Yeah, that was great.
Rob, you, I believe, went 1-0 in your plays and have another one tonight.
I did, and I hit the ballin' on a budget segment where we take a way you can make a bunch of money on a cheap bet, and my big ballin' on a budget parlay hit, and so
you doubled the money.
That's right, and then I got my Sunday night football bet, which means the Bears are going down tonight, Hammer. That means God's not gonna let me have it all. He's gonna say, 40-0, Bears going down to the Vikings.
You hit the ball in. I was rolling on the prop shop.
Yep.
Only missed one prop yesterday, and we had a good day yesterday. So if you're not following our sports betting program, The Degenerates Next Door, anywhere you get your podcasts, subscribe, comes right to your inbox or whatever, or just follow the Twitter account @GamblingStuff.
Yeah, I had to. So, you're Mr. Thursday night. I'm Mr. Monday night, and I had to bet the Bears. And a lot of times I will bet against the Bears, just because that way I can win the bet either
Right.
way.
You feel like you've accomplished something at the end of the night either way. Either
Right.
you won money or your team won.
Here's the problem, though. It's week 1. The game is on ESPN, which means I got to walk to my dad's house to watch the game.
You're very cheap, man.
He's not going to allow me to cheer against the Bears week. Now, maybe by like week 10 when the season's over, he won't care.
You're playing for draft picks.
But week 1, not going to have it. So I had to go with the Bears, and I just know it's not going to go well. And so, but if I wanted to watch the game, he was not going to tolerate me cheering against the Bears week 1.
So you and I are both on the Bears tonight.
Yeah.
At the time of our show, it was 1.5, I believe. I
Yeah.
think it might be up to 2 now.
Ah, jeez.
So Bears are catching the points. I'll take the Bears. Little note heading into tonight, if you're betting the total, the over and the under. Unders, I believe, were 12-3 yesterday.
Not on Sunday Night Football.
Woo! Sunday Night Football was a shootout. The Steelers and Jets, that was a shootout.
Yeah.
But most of the other games cashed that under. And, man, that was a big number, big trend, the unders early on.
Are the Colts good, or does Miami stink?
I think
both?
Miami stinks, first of all. Colts may be better, but I think Miami's pretty bad, too. Like, Tua looked awful.
Oh, I totally forgot to tell you guys this. This is perfect for you to be here. You'll appreciate this. Indy reporter and I went downtown last night, a little get-together, a couple of cackling hens, sharing secrets and stories, and we were walking back at the halftime of the Sunday Night Football game. I said, all right, I got to go home. We're walking back, and there's a guy in a Colts jersey, and he is, like, hanging on for dear life onto the railing because he is going down. Like, he has
been overserved.
He has spent the entire day. And his poor, I guess it was his wife, she was just mortified to be seen with this guy in public.
Was it Nigel? Everything you're telling me right now sounds like it could be Nigel.
It's Nigel.
And he was like, the rope where the guy's pulling on the, he was hanging, he was going down even though he was hanging onto the ledge. I thought, I don't know how they're going to get that guy up. And I wanted to stand and watch, but then I was like, man, I got to get home. I don't have time to see this thing.
It's not that good.
But that guy had enjoyed the entire day, I'm guessing.
So I went to the game yesterday.
Yeah, you've got some sun on your face.
Yeah, the roof was open, and I love everybody tagging
Rob,
Rob
the
in
roof
that.
was open.
Right. But no, that sun was beating right in my face yesterday. And my favorite thing, there was a dude in our row, and he came down, he had 4 beers. Like, I don't even think you're supposed to be able to buy 4 beers. I don't know. But he had 2 in the hand, like each hand.
$83.
And I kind of pointed out to him, hey, buddy, all right. And he looked at me, true story, it's what Irsay would have wanted. That's how you know, baby. We are back. Football season is back.
What are you doing today on the award-winning Hammer and Nigel program? What are we talking about?
So Michael Paul Hart's going to join us in studio. I think this is the first big public interview since the coup that kicked him out. We're going to find out what's going on with this curfew crap, the data center stuff.
Right.
That fight's not over. Gun Guy Relford will be here, and Kevin Bowen joins us as well.
It's going to be a big show. Thank you, Hammer. And thank you, Rob. Hey, Kevin, thank you as well. But most importantly, thank you for listening today. That's going to do it for us. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
Central Indiana knows tough, but your water shouldn't be. Indiana ranks among the hardest water in the country, and your home is paying the price. Connecticut's non-electric technology means no timer, settings, or headaches. Just water that works, even when the power doesn't. And the twin tank design means clean, soft water 24/7. Connecticut water softeners are the solution, made in the U.S. Visit ConnecticutIndy.com and mention Made in the U.S. for an additional $250 off your purchase of a softener. Connecticut, American-made, Midwest tough.
Are you ready for the biggest boat and RV sale of the year? The 36th Annual Indianapolis Fall Boat and RV Show. 3 days of blowout clearance pricing at the Indiana State Fairgrounds September 19th through 21st. But it's not a show. A sale. For 3 days only, shop over 5 acres of new and used boats and RVs. And this year, we're in the new air-conditioned pavilion. If you don't buy here, you'll pay too much. Dealers are liquidating their inventories, and after Sunday, they're gone forever. The 36th Annual Indianapolis Fall Boat and RV Show. Save time and buy tickets at IndySportShow.com. Another Renfro production.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, you'll find a team of experts on your side, all working closely to give you the guidance and support you need.
Everyone knew what every other doctor was doing. I didn't have to go to 3 different meetings. I didn't have to talk to them individually. You knew right there in the room. They came up with a plan together.
Learn more about Community MD Anderson at ecommunity.com/cancer.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling? We'll find that independent American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Call today or go to bwindow.com and receive up to 50% off plus a free patio door.
Because at B-Window,
we mean business.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up.
A person in all black came up and started shooting at him for no reason.
Punished for their religious beliefs and very, very strongly punished. It's ridiculous.
This must be fun.
We've accomplished a goal.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
Gunfire in Indianapolis this morning. Skies are sunny and it's 66 in downtown Indy. More on your forecast in a moment. I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 12 noon. A boy was shot this morning around 3:15 on the northeast side of Indianapolis near 30th Street and North Keystone Avenue. IMPD Captain Don Weilhammer explains what they know so far.
The juvenile male stated that he was standing out on the steps in front of the apartment when all of a sudden a person in all black came up and started shooting at him for no reason. That was the only description that he was able to give us.
That boy was taken to a hospital and is expected to recover. If you know who the shooter is, though, give IMPD or Crime Stoppers a call. President Trump went to the Museum of the Bible in Washington, D.C. today to speak to the White House Religious Liberty Commission.
For most of our country's history, the Bible was found in every classroom in the nation. Yet in many schools today, students are instead indoctrinated with anti-religious propaganda, and some are even punished for their religious beliefs and very, very strongly punished. It's ridiculous.
He wants America to be rededicated to one nation under God. The president also lost a bid to overturn a verdict that ordered him to pay more than $83 million for defaming writer E. Jean Carroll. In today's ruling, the judges found that Trump failed to identify any grounds that would warrant reconsidering the prior holding on presidential immunity. Trump denies her accusations that he raped her in New York City in the 1990s. The U.S. Supreme Court is asked to step into a spending dispute over foreign money. Fox's Jared Halpern.
The Trump administration wants the Supreme Court to issue an emergency order that would keep nearly $5 billion in foreign aid frozen. A lower court judge ruled last week that withholding the funding approved by Congress was likely illegal. President Trump used what's known as a pocket rescission to block the funding. Judge Amir Ali ruled the law requires congressional action, not just notification by the president to trigger the rescission. Nonprofit groups sued the government over the funding freeze. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
You might have seen a crowd gather in Greenwood over the weekend. Johnette Cruz explains why.
While protesters gathered in Greenwood this weekend to voice their opposition to the housing of ICE detainees at Camp Atterbury, Representative Jefferson Shreve maintained his focus is on the priorities of his constituents. Shreve